2.30 successful.
Officer still stands for time? No. Offender in custody?
Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night. Hope you all are doing okay. Thank you all to anybody who hopped in this morning. It was pretty early. We did like a replay premiere type thing for the Andy Wagner case. It was heartbreaking hearing all that again. Definitely messed up, and it definitely needs some attention. We will be doing more shows, trust me. Trust me. Good evening, everybody. We got a couple things to go over, and then we'll just kind of leave it up to you. But there's a couple things I wanted to go over. For a long time, I've been wanting to check out this While Idaho Slept, Surviving the Survivor appearance. So we're definitely going to be checking that out tonight. There's a couple things I've been hearing more about it. So if you all know what I'm talking about, somebody wrote the book. I don't know anything about it. Never read it. Never read an article about it. But it's something I've wanted to check out for a long time with you guys. So definitely going to do that. Katrina, a bunch of pictures, something with like garbage or something. Now, so I do want to talk about those. And then there's a couple other small things. It's not going to be a crazy long episode tonight. Maybe 3 hours or so. A little bit over, something like that. Not crazy long. And then over the next few days, after Christmas or so, through Christmas, I'm going to be hit and miss. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. I'm going to be going to different spots. So I'm going to be kind of like hitting one spot, and then trying to come back home all in a few days. So I will be doing a lot of driving. I probably won't have too much time the next. I'll hop on, at least if there is going to be something that's breaking or something, I'll probably do like some mini lives, from the mobile or something. We'll do something like that. If there's like break-in or upload a video. I don't know about the live situation just because I don't know what it's going to be from each situation to each situation. And then I'll be driving. I might do some lives when I'm driving. So if you're not subbed to the lounge, I usually do my, if I do any kind of like hangout road trip type stuff, I'll do it over at the lounge. So I might do that. Maybe I'll do that. Do my lives from the road, and then I'll talk to y'all when we're out on the road. But we'll figure it out. I don't know. It's going to be the first holiday. I've only had the show for a little over a year. I mean, just a skosh over a year. And didn't really have to figure all this out last year too much. So it's going to be kind of a task trying to figure out, like, all right, how are we going to do this? But so just to give you a heads up, through Christmas or whatever. So if this is the last time that I see you before Christmas live on a show, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Please be safe and enjoy your time with your loved ones, because outside this YouTube world is number one. And then this is all secondary to all that outside stuff. Appreciate you all. All right, we'll go ahead and get into the show, and then we'll check out that While Idaho Slept. I want to hear about it. I might even get the book. I think it'd be interesting. What's up, Detective Golden? Maybe, you know what? Maybe I could figure out a way where we could do some like art shows or something on the road. That's what I should do. Bring my art supplies. Hold on. Let me write that on my list. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that. All right. Jacqueline, ticket number 5. Thank you. Chrissy, ticket number 6. What's up, Scarlett? Hey, you. Ticket number 7. Echo, ticket number 8 with all the emojis. Damn. I watched that Super Mario Brothers movie that came out. That shit was hilarious. 49er girl, how are you? I wanted to see it 3D, but I didn't get a chance to do it. Merry Christmas to you too. 49er girl, ticket number 11. We will be doing some coffee cup giveaways and such too. I'm trying my ass to get this t-shirt stuff going. This cricket or circuit or whatever the hell you call it, man. Like, you think it's the right material, and then it's not the right material that's supposed to go on. Why can't... It's coming. Damn it. I want to make my t-shirts. What's up, Deb? How you doing? Katrina. What's up, Kitty? Deb. How you doing tonight? Miley, ticket number 11. Thank you. Margaret, how are you? Lori, been so busy with Christmas and getting shopping done, trying to get caught up on this. Aw. Yeah, I'm going to try and start doing more short form content. I'm really trying. It's just, I end up being up till like, after a show's done, then I'm up till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then it's just like, whoa, I'm not used to being up that late, you know. But, you know, it takes that long to do all that. So, what's up, Ty? How are you doing tonight? But, get to rapping. It's that time. It's that time. What's up, Yolie? Hopefully there's no storms and stuff, you know? Bianca, ticket number 20. I might have to do that, though. Some shows from the road over at the lounge. It's been a while. Ticket number 21, Susan. Thank you for hopping in. What's up, Sue Mac? How you doing? Bianca, Nightbot. Not doing too bad the last couple shows, huh? Not doing too bad. Hey, Nightbot. What's up, Aaliyah? Yeah? I know. It's just one of them, you know? But I don't know. Either on a bike or something. Ticket number 31. How are you? Mark and Betty. Oh, it's going to be a chill night, probably. I don't know. You never know, though. You never know. What's up, Christina? I know. Isn't the... You know what I mean, though? Isn't the... Like, who was it? Crime Solver said, boom is 2023. Freeze is 2024. What's up, KW? How you doing? 2 truck windows, 1 truck window. Boom. Oh, shit. What's up, Mary? I'm so glad that it sucks it's 5 days, but I'm so glad, you know, that I just wish people would, like, you know, like I was saying 5 days ago, you know, if you have that big of an army, you know, why aren't you scheduling a protest with the families, and instead of a search from Idaho to Pennsylvania? That's a lot of places to look. That's a lot of places to look, yo. I mean, damn, you know how many garbage cans are in between Idaho and Pennsylvania? I can't. That's just garbage cans. It's not rivers and lakes and hell, the ditch outside the window as you're driving by. You don't even have to stop. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of. That's a lot. Just think, it took BK almost 40 hours. You know, 40 hours. You multiply that by. Take that manpower and put it into a protest, you know? So I guess Brian Enton, that is something that I was going to play. I didn't put it out. It came out last night. It was on Banfield last night about Brian Enton talking about, what's up, Lucille? Brian Enton talking about how they have to file a lawsuit. What's up, Echo? how they have to file a lawsuit. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yes, Katrina, I do want to talk to you about those. What's up, Caddy? So I don't know. I watched a couple of the videos. Shout out Truth and Transparency for making that video as well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm only a voice that's like this big. You know what I'm saying? So when I wish it would have reached. I wish 5 days ago something would have, been reached out to the families and shit. Like, why isn't the attorney doing something about it? If you I don't know. Like, representing Steve G, like, I'm sitting there 5 days ago pleading with a fucking YouTuber that has the availability and the financial availability to go out there and organize a freaking protest with, Kara and Steve and Christy and everybody. You know what I'm saying? But but it's like you want to organize a search for a knife from Idaho to Pennsylvania because it could be anywhere between there. Like, come on. And shout out Truth and Transparency for that little video this morning to share to Steve. So I don't know. I'm surprised that Shannon Gray didn't do something 5 days ago, even before then. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sitting there going, yo, I mean, I love the petition, but come on, dude. Like, when you're already 11 days away minus holidays and weekends, I'm sorry. That's why I was screaming back then. Look, the shit ain't nothing else is gonna fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to be realistic. The fucking university's not gonna go, oh, there's 2,000 signatures. Okay. No. So hopefully, I mean, shit, now we're down to tomorrow. I mean, we'll just tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not even. Take those away. 3 days, 2 days. So 5 days minus holiday. And that's just minus a holiday now. 5 days. Not even weekends. What's up, Kentucky girl? Like that. Now it is to the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, 5 days ago, there could have been something set up where you're already out there protesting. But if Shannon Gray is already representing Steve G, why until now did Brian Enton have to be like, yo, last night Brian Enton on Banfield, yo, this is the only way it can happen. Yeah, when there's 5 days left, yeah, this is the only thing that can happen now. What's up, Misha girl? Thinkers think, what's up? So why didn't frickin' Shannon do something as soon as, as soon as the word dropped that the frickin' demo was going to happen? Why that day? Why wasn't he like, all right. Huh? We'll check that out too then. Hold on. Let me write that down. What's up, Quinny? I mean, seriously, all of a sudden it's, you know, it was they found out before, right? And then all of a sudden, why wasn't that day, that afternoon, the next morning, Shannon, all right, why wasn't, what do you pay this man for, yo? Get off your fucking ass. At least comb your hair. You know what I'm saying? At least if you're off your ass doing shit, you're, you know, if your hair's not combed, that's fine. But when you ain't getting off your fucking ass and then your hair ain't combed up, what's up, bro? Yes, we'll see what that's about. All right. So let me see. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share the link. This is the video of the premiere that we did earlier. If you're not familiar with the Andy Wagner case, we will be doing more shows on this case. Trust me. Trust me. We will be doing more shows on this case. Andy Wagner, ANDI. If you're not familiar, look it up. Click on that link. Save it to a playlist. Check it out. We will be doing more shows. Because when you watch and you see, it's a bunch of, is it not a bunch of bullshit, Katrina? Right, and the poor mom, she passed away. She just passed away. Yeah, there's not much about it, is there, Katrina? There's not. There will be, trust me. Trust me, there will be. There will be. There ain't now. There will be, trust me. No. All right, let's get it switched up. Let's get to the show. Thank you all for hopping in. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It's the freeway. Here we go. All right. What the hell's going on, StreamYard? Booted me out of my own show. All right, here we go. All right, so I want to share a couple things on Twitter here. Okay. Now, this is from Brian Enton. And thank you, Megan. I want to say thank you so much. We're going to be having a show with Suzanne Andrews coming up here. We're going to be talking about the Murdaugh, Stephen Smith stuff, and we're going to be talking about Mr. Bobblehead himself, if you know who I'm talking about. We'll be having one of those shows coming soon. Trust me, maybe two. Maybe two. After the holidays, I'm just warning you guys right now. After the holidays, in between the Christmas and New Year's, we're going to have a boom, boom. After the first of the year, it's going to be a boom, 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 boom. Oh, I can't wait for y'all. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be fun. All right. Shout out Macon, though. Thank you for all the love over there on Twitter. All right. Brian Enton. Here's the post, and we're going to go to the YouTube video. Mr. Bobblehead. Is anybody familiar? Yeah, if you haven't checked out that's right now, it's the biggest playlist that I have is the Stephen Smith case. It's one of the first ones we started. we started going into that case back in the beginning of the year. Everybody was talking about the Murdaugh and Mallory Beach and all that other stuff, and we came across that as part of the Murdaugh stuff, and we were like, wow, this is more messed up than all of them. This one right here, how in the hell is this? How in the hell is this a hit and run? And then we started getting into it, and then we started digging up stuff, and then that's when we met Suzanne Andrews. Shout out to her. We had her on the show a couple times. That's one of those is in the playlist. We will be having her soon. Trust me. We will be. She'll probably be the first one we're having coming up right after Christmas. I don't know. It might be before. We'll see. But you definitely don't want to miss that episode or episodes where we're going to be having her on the show. And then some other guests as well. I'm going to be collaborating with somebody for the Andy Wagner case. We're going to be having a bunch of collabs coming up here in the next couple weeks. I can't wait. Damn holidays. If it wasn't for the damn holidays. It is a very sad case. But if you're not familiar with it, Mr. Bobblehead, how do I... Here, I'll tell you what. Just go to this. This is... Here. Just... If you're on Twitter, go show Suzanne Andrews some love. And when I refer to Mr. Bobblehead is the one that's being discussed. That's Mr. Bobblehead. And if you go to his Twitter, you'll know what I mean. Why not? Let's do it. Bobblehead. The bobbleheads are all over, and they've been all over. Now, he came out and stated that here's another bobblehead. I mean, there's a bobblehead all over, you guys. But, yeah, bobbleheads all over. I'm telling you, constant promotion. Bobblehead. He came out and said something. He came out to Court TV a couple days ago, and I was the first comment on Court TV's video. I said, if you want, you can't sit there and say that I mean, it was him coming out saying he's got some breaking information when it's been something that Suzanne's been trying to reach out about it since the beginning of the year. And it's like, what are you doing? You have, and we all know Suzanne Andrews, and if you don't, here, this is the direct link to the interview with Suzanne Andrews that we had for the show. She is such a sweetheart. She has done so much. And you'll find out what she did in this interview that I had her on the show for. She has done so much. And for somebody like this to treat her this way, I'm sorry. Right here. She has done so much. Please go check out that episode sometime when you have time. Suzanne Andrews. She'll be coming back on the show. She has done so much. And this is the interview that took place, what, April? Maybe? April or something? March? I don't know, somewhere around there. And ever since, and that's when I started noticing. Back then, I was like, oh, why are they treating her this way? And I wasn't, I'm not and never, and she'll tell you. I mean, for a long time, I was like, Suzanne, I will say some stuff. Just let me know. Like, no, no, no. She has been such a sweetheart. Because I was even gonna, like, I was like, Suzanne, I will say something. No, no, no. She has been such a sweetheart. And for her to be treated this way, no, 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 Mr. Bobblehead. No. All right, back to the frickin' tweet. I just had to, you guys wanted to know who Mr. Bobblehead was. I had to show you. Shout out, Suzanne. We appreciate you. All right, so this is the News Nation video where he's talking about, he says 12 hours ago, this video was from last night. It came across at the end of the show, before the show was over, actually. He said, I'm told the only way to stop the Idaho house from demo would be through a civil action. A family member of a victim could file a lawsuit against the University of Idaho, then ask for an injunction claiming house as evidence. Now, let's be fair. We don't know. Do we know for... Hold on. I need to take back what I said about Mr. Gray, because I don't know for sure if he did that the same day. Maybe he did apply for it the same day, and we just don't know about it. Has he? Has he not? Do we know for sure? Oh, I appreciate you. Do we know for sure that he didn't? I don't know. I'm not so sure. All right, let's watch this video here.
But first, I want to go to News Station senior national correspondent Brian.
What? Okay.
But first, I want to go to News Station senior national correspondent Brian Enton for an update on where we are with the demolition plans. So, understandably, Brian, I don't think it's a secret that the people at the university they're so exhausted by the scar of that house on campus. And it's just off campus, but it's visible on campus.
Yeah, thank you.
But the community online is a different animal. What's happening there?
Yeah, it's interesting, actually. I don't think I've heard one expert who you have interviewed or one expert who I have interviewed who has said that they believe the house should be torn down. Everyone that we're talking to is saying the opposite. And that seems to be the consensus online, too. I mean, there's now the petition that's been started. People are really, really upset about this, and they don't understand it. They don't understand why you would tear the house down before trial. But it's interesting when you're on the ground in Moscow, and I was there last month, and this has been an ongoing issue. So I was asking students about it on campus. There is this sense in the small college town that they want the house gone. It's a painful reminder of what happened. Also, remember.
All right. Okay, look. What's up, Megan? What's up, Megan? Hell yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. This is what I don't understand. Why? A painful reminder. It's not, I've been saying it. It's not, and it's obvious. It's something that's been obvious ever since this crime took place. And I don't understand. This is where I'm coming from. All right, I got to find this picture so I can show you. Fuck it, I'm not going to show a picture. Okay. It's not such a new idea that there is new students that come in every semester, every new year, every. Think of painful reminder. Okay. So when one of your loved ones passes away on the road, like Stephen Smith, right? That's why there's a cross on the side of the road. And this is what I want to try and explain. If that cross wasn't there, if the cross wasn't there, does that mean the painful reminder goes away? I don't understand why people keep saying painful reminder, painful reminder. Just because you walk out of Sigma Chi's doors and you see the house there, and then the next day you'll see the house not there, does that mean the painful reminder is gone? No. It's something I've been saying since this case took place when it came to the power of the university, their influence, and the fact that they wanted to hurry up and arrest somebody. It's been something that's been said for months, a year. Why is it such a new idea now? Why are people acting like it's such a new idea at the thought that there's new students that come in every year? And when I'm sitting there telling you guys, not you, I'm saying the outside world, when it's been something that's been discussed for so long, and not just here, but mainly here, hello, you got new classes coming in every year, and the previous classes are either leaving or another year closer to leaving or another semester closer to leaving. So the memories that are going to go away are the ones from the people that were enrolled in school the day the crime took place. And then after that class, because there's students before that never were there when the crime took place. Okay? So as a painful reminder, that freshman class, that's the last year that the university is trying because that's the last class or year that people are going to remember the horrificness of it because they were there the day that it happened. The students after that, so I don't understand about painful reminder number one, because the painful reminder is always going to be there, whether the building's there or not. That's a cheap, lame-ass excuse. And to say that you can get rid of a painful reminder, that's just you throwing gasoline on the painful, lame-ass excuse. Be real. The only thing that's going to go away is the students that were there the day that the crime took place, and that's the last day that they attend the university, whether it's from their own choice or because they graduate. After that, the university, yes, they will see a memorial garden. Yes, people will go by and go, wow, look at that. So that's the lot, that's the property that all this took place. But they weren't there. That's why I'm saying the university's like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Because the sooner we get this thing going is the sooner we are smooth sailing on that yacht, baby. They're not in the open shower yet. They're just chilling. They still got ropes holding them back. They ain't out there yet. But they will be. And you know how time goes. Time goes. Next thing you know, you're graduated. Next thing you know, you're moving to another state. Next thing you know, and then there's a new class coming in, and a new one, and a new one that weren't even there, that might not have even been in the state. The memory will not go away with the house. No, it won't. Just because something you can't remove. Just like you know, when the university came out with a statement and said, you know, that although they appreciate the emotional connection that the other families have, it's time for its removal so the community can move to heal. Lame ass excuse after lame ass excuse. There's reminders all over. You're right. Good and bad. I don't think it matters who his wife is, fam. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. The donors, yeah. I mean, hell, look at the freaking shit we showed last night. It's a bunch of bullshit. All right. I'm just tired of hearing that. Come on, be real, you know? Why say they're trying to get rid, you know, why agree with it? Why agree with it? Why not just say that's their statement? Why be like, yeah.
I want to go to NewsStation senior national correspondent Brian Enton for an update on where we are with the demolition plans. So, you know, understandably, Brian, I don't think it's a secret that the people at the university they're so exhausted by the scar of that house on campus. And it's just off campus, but it's visible on campus. But the community online is a different animal. What's happening there?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, actually. I don't think I've heard one expert who you have interviewed or one expert who I have interviewed who has said that they believe the house should be torn down. Everyone that we're talking to is saying the opposite. And that seems to be the consensus online, too. I mean, there's now the petition that's been started.
Susan, it was donated. It was donated a long time ago. That's why I've played the whole skit of Mr. Green going to the landlord saying, or the owner saying, hey, we'll do you a favor. You just sign it over to us as a donation. You get a tax write-off. Then you don't have to look like the bad guy. But really, to his board members, he's like, we have to get control of this property so we can control the demolition, because if he is in control of the demolition, the public backlash will put too much pressure for it not to happen. If we take control of the property, then it doesn't matter how much public backlash unless we decide it's too much. The power. They could not let this property be in the control of somebody that didn't have as much firepower as they have, because they need this property down ASAP. They need this trial over with ASAP. They need all of it done ASAP. It's just how it is. Well, shit, look, when we were getting into the old Moscow Police Department last night, $900 and some $1 million for that little ass. I mean, we gave you a tour. You got a tour of the inside of the new one, and you got a tour of the inside of the old one. And you're telling me that the one that they moved from was almost $1 billion in fucking Moscow? Are the property rates really that high? Like, are the property rates? And guess who? Yeah, the university bought it. That's why the university's the one that pressured Fry to say in the beginning, to tell the community that the community didn't have nothing to worry about. That's why we were all like, why is Fry fumbling saying the community has nothing to worry about, and they don't even know how the dude left, right? You don't even know how the dude left, but you're gonna tell the community at first that they have nothing to worry about. Who the what? And you went to, and we just showed his fucking 2019 FBI Academy certifications last night. I mean, bro, that's why I said the university has so much influence even over the PD. The university's the one that got them their new fucking police department. You know, the state-of-the-art gym and all of that fancy ass training, like they're fucking getting ready to go to Afghanistan and shit. And you're in Moscow, where most of your calls are not reported, which I don't know how you can rank up so quick if I don't know how you can rank up so quick if you're not making any reports. I don't understand it. I'm really, after so long, Grower, I really don't understand what the contributions of those are after months and months and months. I really don't understand it. Sorry. Every night we're talking about Idaho and other cases, and you just keep dropping songs, and I don't understand. For months, it's like for months. You know what I'm saying? Like for months, I've been waiting. If y'all don't listen, if y'all don't think I give 150, come on. I gave Grower like 200% there. It was months. I'm just like, bro, are you gonna contribute to the chat? Like, what do you do? What's up? But it's like, okay, I don't understand. There's music channels out there, you know what I'm saying? Or call into your local radio station. Shit, I don't know. There you go. Or you can send the playlist right there. Yeah, the uncle. The uncle. All right, let's get back to this here.
What's happening there?
Yeah, it's interesting, actually. I don't think I've heard one expert who you have interviewed or one
What's up,
expert
MK?
who I have interviewed who has said that they believe the house should be torn down. Everyone that we're talking to is saying the opposite. And that seems to be the consensus online, too. I mean, there's now the petition that's been started. People are really, really upset about this, and they don't understand it. They don't understand why you would tear the house down before trial. But it's interesting when you're on the ground in Moscow, and I was there last month, and this has been an ongoing issue. So I was asking students about it on campus. There is this sense in the small college town that they want the house gone. It's a painful reminder of what happened. Also, remember, Ashley, I mean, these are college kids. I mean, they want to move on with their college career. Yes, they respect the victims, and the candlelight vigil on the 1-year anniversary was packed with thousands of these kids. So they respect the victims, but in many ways they want to move on, and there's this sense that the town wants to move on.
Dude, did you ask the fucking town? Because I did, bro. Or did you just go off of what the university's statement was? Was he okay? I don't know. I didn't watch anything. Did he go interview? Did he go talk to people? Did he go ask around? Did he go ask around? Because when I was talking to people in fucking Moscow, the students, I mean, obviously it wasn't a shit ton. I talked to communities, people at local businesses, and students. It was a mixture in Pullman and in fucking Moscow. Or is he just going off a statement that the university stated? Because if you're going off a statement that, then yeah. What? Was it on the Vandal alert, or where was it? Where did I see that? Where was that? No, it was on Vandal alert. Hold on. What's up, Yolie?
Hi. I'm just hopping in a little bit before I eat.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll come back.
What's up?
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Are we watching the video?
I'm looking for this Vandal alert.
Oh.
In between it. When's the last you were checking out the show? Let's see.
We were watching the video. I don't know if you finished.
What in the hell? No, I swear. Where is that damn Vandal alert? Can anybody send me the Vandal alert? I'm thinking he's just going off the Vandal alert. Yeah, we're talking about, you might have missed it in the switch. He was saying that the community says that they're ready to move on too. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, I was just there a month ago, and I talked to people that worked at local businesses. Your typing's pretty loud.
I'm so sorry.
The microphone might be too close to the keyboard or something. I was talking to people working at local businesses. I was talking to students. I was talking, and I was even talking to people that were like 40 or 50 years old. And I don't know who he was talking to, because when he's making the statement that most of the community wants this down to move on, I'm really confused, because I don't know if I don't know. That's why I was wondering if maybe he was walking around interviewing people or something, because for him to say that, if you're going to say that just because you're going off of a statement from the University of Idaho, that's pretty damn dangerous, man. Because people, when you're telling them as a journalist that the community wants it down to move past it, then people will think that the community really wants it down, when that's not necessarily the case. It's just because the university does. Hold on one second. Why is the cameras doing this? Hold on. There we go. It had you get blocked. Where the Damon Mario goes, it should be right. It should be. And they're putting it on their own property, and it's being through donations and like discounted work, which basically means they probably just need to pay the cost to run the machinery, and then everything else is going to be donated, whether it's the supplies or, you know, it's always something. It's always something. But you should see here's their Twitter. If you go follow them on Twitter, you can literally spend like hours, and you don't have to scroll long. You can spend hours scrolling through and seeing all the donation programs that they have set up, and they even gloat, which you should. You know, if you have all them donations, you know, you should gloat if you're raising a whole bunch of money. But man, you start rolling through the Twitter and you start seeing donation. We raised this and dollar amount. We raised this, and and we got this going on, and it's all these donations. And that's why I'm sitting there going, you got this is Moscow, a college with not even 13,000. Okay, let's be real, that's not very big. You got a town that's like less than 30. Let's be honest, that's not very big. Where's your money coming from? You got multi-million-dollar freaking police department. You have all these properties being bought for this and being bought for this, and you got University of Idaho purchasing University of Phoenix online, and you got all this money just flowing. Where's it all coming from? You know, and then you mix that with the rank ups that you can do when you go work there, but you're not writing reports. So how are you ranking up? How do you rank up in a video game when you don't use your controller? So there's so much money flying around. How in the hell is a university have right up there with Harvard when it comes to cha-ching? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. And you got another university literally minutes away from you, so you're already having potential university enrollment already being diminished a little bit because you have another freaking college right next to you, instead of being the only university in this huge area to pull all the students and then whoever else. No, you have another university pulling. To tell me that people from Moscow ain't going to WSU, you can't say that's not true.
Well, you know what upsets me. What upsets me is that, you know, they're gonna tear down. Well, first of all, the property belongs to the university now, and they're going to tear it down Yeah, they're going to tear it down because they don't want a painful reminder. Well, I think they're going to tear it down because they want to destroy evidence, not just for the criminal case, but in case there's a civil case. I mean, there could be a civil case against the university and the property owners for, like various reasons, like, that it was an unsafe property. Let's say they never fixed the door, the sliding glass door. And there were complaints about it, to the landlord, and that was never fixed. And somebody entered through that door. There could be civil lawsuit, and if they were doing something nefarious in that home, which I don't know if they were, if the school had knowledge of it and didn't, I mean, those are students there, they're, it's just like what Steve said. He sent his daughter there for school and he brought her back in a box. I mean, it's just, it infuriates me, and I just don't know why. I guess I shouldn't speculate either, because maybe Shannon Gray did file.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he did. That's why I never made a video about it, because I'm like, maybe he did, and we just don't know. I'm not going to talk out my ass.
Well, yeah, and it would be a separate lawsuit. It wouldn't be filed in the Brian Koberger case. It would be it would be like a preliminary injunction until they can get a hearing just to stop it. But it just really bugs me. And, the university needs to be scared out of their mind. They need somebody who's going to scare them. And there's not a lot of people like that, but, and it's sad, unless they had
That's why they took the ownership of the house, because they knew if they took ownership, they went and pitched the landlord, hey, buddy, it's going to cost you this much to demo. You got asbestos, oh, it's going to be this. You're going to be broke and na. How about you just do the honorable thing? We'll go ahead and do something for you. We'll look out for you, Mr. Owner. How about you just donate it to us? You get it to tax write-off, and we'll go ahead and take care of everything. And then all of a sudden, they're just sitting there like, that's a prime rib steak for him right there, sitting on a platter, and they just got it right up.
And then, when you see the video of Shannon Gray, he talks about what he's doing for the family. And it's interesting because, I'll just say it's interesting. You guys can see the video if you actually want to see it.
So he is doing something?
Well, I'll let you guys watch the video, and you guys can decide. I mean, because to me, it sounds like he's talking about what he's doing, but he's a criminal defense attorney, so he's not a civil attorney.
But he can't. Okay.
And so he can't inject himself into the criminal case with Brian Koberger.
So what? Steve G would have to go find new representation if he wanted. Is that what you mean?
Not necessarily, but it's like me doing criminal law. I do civil law. So if somebody hired me to be a criminal defense attorney, that probably wouldn't be wise, even though
yeah, that makes sense, because you're right.
Even
so
just
because Shannon represents Steve G as a criminal attorney, it might not even be up to Shannon Gray to try and help, because it's something he doesn't even fucking practice or something. Or
well, the thing is there is a gag order, so he can't speak. There's a gag order, so he can't speak on the.
I'm saying about the demo.
Oh,
I'm talking about the demo, not the Koberger stuff.
Correct. If it's like hiring me to do criminal defense, it's like if you need somebody to do a civil preliminary injunction, then you probably should have a civil attorney.
Right. So if you have a friend, so it's like this, roles reversed. You have a friend that commits a crime and says, hey, Yolie, can you help me out? You say, look, I'm I could help you out with the civil stuff, but when you're talking criminal, maybe this guy might help out because you probably know somebody that, hey, you can go check out this guy. So that role reversed, it could have been a situation where it doesn't matter what Shannon Gray does, because really he could have went to Shannon Gray and said, hey, Shannon, I need you to represent me in this civil thing. And he could have said, sorry, buddy, here's Jimbo Bob. He can help you out. So really, Shannon shouldn't even be getting any heat on him or having any attitude spit on him, because really,
yes.
it's a different thing. So
It
anybody
is.
that does study that should already know that already then, basically.
Basically, I mean,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I mean, basically,
I mean, it makes sense. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? When you're
I
talking
mean,
civil and criminal, I didn't even think about it on the surface like that. Just because to me, I didn't even think about Shannon Gray that much. To me, I'm thinking about protest. That's what was on
yeah.
my mind.
But there is a way they could do it to stop it if they're going to file a civil case. I mean, maybe the criminal case, because Kohlberger's attorney is agreeing to it, which I don't understand, but that's between them. But they could do it if they plan on filing a civil case. So,
Makes
that
sense.
would be destroying evidence. And that's why they want to get rid of it so much, because
Mhm.
they don't want to get sued. They don't want to get, it would be, if there is something wrong with that house and it was complained about. And I know one of the girls, I think it was Xana, had the locks changed on one of her doors or something. I mean, if there was something wrong with the house and they complained to the landlord and the landlord didn't do anything, the then landlord, then they might have liability, and now it's transferred over to the university, and that could be a fraudulent transfer.
Yeah.
Meaning it's like a fraudulent, what is it called? Transfer of assets. It's kind of like, let's say,
I got blocked I got blocked because I asked that same. Yeah, because I asked the president, how in the hell are you getting a house donated to you when it's, quote, technically still part of a crime? And then I got blocked.
Yeah.
That was the last question I asked, and then I was blocked.
Well, I don't know how that works in terms of the crime scene, but I do know. I mean, yeah, but I do know,
Mr. Green.
I do know
he blocked me after that question.
I'm sorry, there's a delay.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so if they do want to do a civil case, and because they did file the claims against they filed the notice of intent to sue, which you give the notice to the public entities that you're going to sue them. So if they had notice that they're going to file a civil lawsuit for whatever reason, and the landlord transferred that property to the university, that's like a fraudulent transfer, because it could be civilly. I mean, because if they're trying to escape liability by destroying the house and making it harder to prove that house was dangerous, or that they had notice. I mean, the school must have had notice that it was a party house. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm.
First, I want to get back to that. Yolie, Caddy had a question. Are you talking about an interview with Angela Levy on Law and Crime, or Shannon Gray on News Nation? And then whichever one that is, or Caddy, if you want to send them both to me, I'd love to hear both of what he's saying in those videos. And when it comes to what Megan's saying, now when it comes, because you're a civil defense,
No, I'm just civil attorney, plaintiff side.
Yeah. Plaintiff side.
Yeah.
But
I'm not licensed in Idaho.
I didn't say you were. No.
I
didn't finish my question.
I was answering Megan's question.
I think she was just saying that he needs a good civil. I don't think she was saying you should do it. I was using this. Oh, Nicola.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. No, I was going to what Megan was saying. when it comes to what Megan's saying, yeah. So when it comes to Idaho, because obviously you just practice in California, we all know. When it comes to Idaho, is that something when it comes to this specific, like when it comes to doing this whole demo thing of what a civil attorney would have to do in California? Okay, so wherever, if it's by county, let's not break it down that far. Let's just say in whatever area you practice in, when it comes to a demo of a house, say a crime took place in a house, just the exact same crime of University of Idaho, but it took place where you practice, how difficult would it be to complete this task?
Well, you start off by an emergency ex parte petition.
Okay.
So there's forms that you fill out, it's like a temporary injunction. So there's like these judicial council forms you fill out. I don't know which ones they are. You file it, and once you file it, everything comes to a halt. You have a hearing like the next day or whenever the judges are available. Nowadays but you have a hearing, and then they stop it for the time being. And then they say, okay, we're gonna set it for a hearing so that the university council can be present and you guys can file motions and the judge will hear it.
Like an emergency type of hearing? Okay.
Well, the first hearing is kind of like an emergency type of hearing.
And then that halts everything.
And then they set it for a further hearing where each side has an opportunity to brief the matter. But, the preliminary injunction, there has to be a basis for wanting to preserve the property. So if they say we want to preserve the property for civil reasons, because we might have a case for dangerous condition of public property, and you guys are deciding unilaterally to destroy it, well, that's fine. I mean, both criminal attorneys, the prosecutor and Brian Kober's attorney can agree to demolish it. That's fine. But wait, we have an interest in that property, meaning the victims.
Right.
And so you have an interest in that property. You want to preserve it. And the judge makes the decision as to, he has to balance the interests. And if the sole purpose is because it's a painful reminder, it's just, no, that's going to violate the plaintiff's rights to be able to sue. And because of the death of civil lawsuit, because of the death of these kids, if the house was unsafe, if there was something with the house, dangerous condition of property, something that allowed this to happen,
And so when it comes to that, because now there was talk, there's two questions I have too. Number one, there was talk of what Brian said, of how expensive it would be. Is it expensive to file? Is that where the expense is coming from? Why would Brian Etten be saying there's a huge expense to it? And I'll wait to ask the next one. And
well, I mean,
you just don't know until the paperwork you need to file. Where's this huge expense coming from to say, hey, this has value?
Yeah.
Why would Brian Etten say it's huge, like so expensive? Do you know?
I have no idea why he would say that, but in California, it's a filing fee.
Where you practice. That's what
There's a filing fee, number one, and then there's the attorney's time in filling out the form.
So it's maybe the attorney's time then is what he's referring to when it comes to that, because it would take a lot of hearings to get through the process of trying to determine what to do with the house. Is that the expense then?
Well, all I can say is that there's a filing fee, there's the attorney fees, and there's one emergency hearing that the attorney would have to attend. and then another hearing to see if it can be halted until the civil trial of the civil case starts up.
Okay. And when it comes to where you practice, when it comes to the same situation about a house, and if you were representing a parent, just based off of, whatever, is that a good argument, or do you think it might be a good argument to stop the demo?
Well, I think so, because if you go along with the fact that they filed these notice of intent to sue, they filed those claims that they're planning on a civil suit, okay, and the property gets transferred to the university. They filed a claim with the university. They filed a claim with the city of Idaho, and maybe even the county. So if that claim was filed and then it was given to the university, well, number one, that the homeowner, the landlord, he can't escape liability, civil liability, by doing that. In other words, if he wants to escape, you argue that he wants to escape civil liability for keeping that home in shambles, where people can come in and out, it wasn't safe, and let's assume that there are complaints made by the tenants that it was unsafe, the back door didn't lock, they had their own parent come. They had their own parent.
Right.
They had their own parent come to
Supposedly,
lock
right,
the door.
yeah.
So
Right.
so if you say he can't avoid that by transferring it,
Ooh.
okay, that's a fraudulent transfer
That's
to
a good-
escape liability. So because they already have notice.
Steve G. But this is where she represents, but this is why I wanted to ask you, because when it comes to all these people trying to offer advice other than truth and transparency, because that was a beautiful video this morning for Steve G. Other than that, I'm thinking, like, that's why I asked you the questions, because you're not going to know Idaho, but you're going to know pretty much where you practice. And any kind of knowledge like that, I think, is going to be good knowledge for Steve, because if it really is true where nobody's taking this on because they're afraid of the university, at least instead of somebody talking shit about Shannon Gray, at least he can maybe go to a YouTube show and be like, oh, wow, there's actually a civil attorney that is discussing something when it comes to this. And really, when you're looking at this kind of situation, any advice is great advice when it comes to this. So he could literally watch this episode, not this part, and then sit there and then take what he just heard from you, try and figure out how that matches up to Idaho law, which you could probably do with some good Google searching if you can afford representation. Then you have a general idea, and then maybe, I don't know, is it true that nobody is wanting to do this? I find it hard to believe, because I would think that if somebody was, wouldn't the documents be out there somewhere for somebody to snag up? Because it's public record, no?
Yes.
When it comes to civil, it's a public record when somebody is trying to stop this demo. So the documents would have been out there if somebody did.
Yes, probably. But I just wanted to say that I'm not sure if it was that video was on News Nation or Law and Crime. It may have been Law and Crime. Sorry, I may have misspoke.
Oh, you're good. Because we'll end up watching both of them.
Yeah. So I did want to. That's why I wanted to jump on, just to give my 2 cents.
Gray. Yeah, Shannon Gray is not. That's what we've been talking about, Corinne. Shannon Gray is not. It's criminal, not civil, and the demo's civil.
And
So
he talks
everybody's
about that.
jumping
Yeah.
on Shannon Gray about it when he's a criminal attorney, not a civil.
He could still do it, if, I mean, I don't know how complicated it is in Idaho.
The dude can't even comb his hair for a TV appearance, and you think he's going to switch to civil?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So the fact that Ann Taylor has agreed or isn't having any issues with demolishing it, that goes out the window if you say, look, we have a civil case.
Can that be ineffective counsel by agreeing with the demo?
I don't think so, because there's an argument to be made.
Okay.
That it's better for Kohberger.
Really? Why is it better for Kohberger?
Because two things. If the jury needs to go out and see the property and it's not there and they can't convict. Okay. Number two is if the jury would go out to see the property, Kohberger would go as well, and the prosecution would most definitely be the one presenting the evidence of the house. Somebody has to, one of the attorneys has to lead the way. I mean, I don't know, maybe the judge does. I'm not sure how it works, but whoever's going to talk about this, they have to introduce the house.
Right, because in OJ, the defense led the way.
Yeah.
They're the ones that changed the pictures and set the house up differently than what it was.
So then the jury has an image of Brian Kohberger in that house. And they're saying,
okay, like an image. Okay.
And then in closing argument, they're going to say Mr. Kohberger walked through that house, and they will have seen him. It's going to go
in their head.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to visually see him walking through there as the prosecution is telling them the timeline at the closing arguments to refresh what took place according to them. I see what you're saying now. Mm-hmm. I walked through that crime scene. Then I'm mentally, you're already half the way there, because that's a perception, which is in your mind, and sometimes perception can become reality.
And Attorney Garagos, the famous criminal attorney, he was on a show, and he said the prosecution is stupid to want it demolished because you never know what's going to happen in a trial. You never know. And it's true. Things pop up.
Garagos said that the prosecution was stupid for wanting it demoed right away.
And he said, because if that jury needs to see it and it's not there, they may not convict.
Do you know what was that on? Law and Crime or something? Do you remember what that was on?
It was.
If anybody knows, I'd like to see that one too, where Garagos said the prosecution.
Yeah, I can find it for you. I'm gonna step away and eat.
Okay.
And I'll find it for you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
And email it to you. But no, these are all things that I'm like, so just want to go at it. But I feel like, plus I have my own cases and I'm not licensed in Idaho, but it makes me.
Oh, trust me, I feel you, because as much as I want to fucking, the last 5 days have been wanting to fly back out there and be out there again, or even like entertaining the thought of moving out there for a year just to be there for all this shit, like if
it's
I'm
just
telling
not
you
right.
No, if I was within a driving distance, I would have already drove my ass over there and would have been putting out flyers on freaking door handles and shit, man. Like,
yeah, so
I know what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
you really wish you could just, but it's like, yeah.
So in terms of Ann Taylor, I don't think that I think she's doing what she needs to do.
Really? So you don't think with her agreeing with it means anything different. You don't think that's ineffective? Because
So
I've been seeing a lot about that. So
Kentucky girl said, Attorney Mark G did say that. Yeah, it was on News Nation with Ashley.
We got. Let me see. I got a. Let me see. We got some stuff being dropped in, so we'll go ahead and check those out. Are you going to be coming back on?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we'll be checking them out. I just got them in.
I did try to fix myself up before I came on video.
You're fine. I know it was short notice. I apologize.
It's okay.
But you always have an invite anyway. You know that. You have a seat at the table and your name's engraved on the back of the chair.
Aww.
So there's nothing I can do about that.
But you're the star.
It's nothing I can do. Yeah, but it's the community table and they got your name, that thing's engraved on the back of the chair. So it's like, yeah, come on in, sit down.
Well, now, I hope this helps. This helps, the families a little bit,
I don't know. I mean, we can only, that's why I'm like, I see a lot of this other stuff out there from a lot of these people complaining and shit about this or about that, and it's like, that's why I'm like, you know what? You're a civil attorney. Let me just ask you where you practice. That way you're just giving us all this information, and then what does apply, because I know when I was like in a situation before I had to represent myself, I was in a position at first where I'm like, damn, I need help. What am I supposed to do? And then I would have taken, even if it was somebody like putting out a little video about this, I would have taken the information and then tried to go from there. So
actually legal aid could probably help too. There's free legal help if it's just for the preliminary injunction. I mean, I'm sure they have, a public interest law group or, legal aid that can help you represent yourself in doing it. So that's an alternative that the families can do if it's available in Idaho.
Yeah. The last couple court hearings I had when I was fighting for full custody of my daughter, with everything that I had done to represent myself that whole time, I actually ended up, the last couple hearings, was able to have assistance where I didn't have to pay anything because I started to learn how it all worked, and I was able to apply for this and do things like that. So yeah, any information like that is going to help out and be beneficial because it's more knowledge than you had before. And I don't know, I just seen so many people ragging on Shannon, so I'm just like, the dude don't comb his hair, and I'm like,
hair sticking out.
But
anyway, okay, so I'm gonna go eat. You guys, I'll
watch
send
those videos.
Yeah, I'll send you the videos that I find, and then while I'm eating, and then I'll come back and chat. And if you want me to come up, I can come up.
Yeah, just go ahead and click on the link when you're done. It'll be the same link. Just come on up and then.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate
I'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, appreciate the knowledge too, Yolie. Thank you. And she brings up a good point too, especially with Zaina's dad coming out there to change the locks, right? She brings up a very good point about that. When he comes to change the locks, and then all of a sudden it could be a whole completely different kind of property transfer. Maybe that's why I got blocked when I asked that question. There's no issues with when all this took place? That's not a good question. All right, here we go. We're going to watch this again, and then I'm going to... we got some links in the mod chat, too. Thank you, mods. Appreciate that. And let's get back to this video here.
One expert who you have interviewed, or one expert who I have interviewed, who has said that they believe the house should be torn down. Everyone that we're talking to is saying the opposite. And that seems to be the consensus online, too. I mean, there's now the petition that's been started. people are really, really upset about this, and they don't understand it. They don't understand why you would tear the house down before trial. But it's interesting when you're on the ground in Moscow, and I was there last month.
Okay, he said when you're on the ground in Moscow, I was there last month, and yes, he was, because I actually showed up right after him.
And this has been.
And we were right next to each other at the vigil. I didn't want to bother him, but that's where I parked. I was parked right by his little tent that he had set up there because it was raining and misty and cold as shit. So he had his little tent, you know, that had like the cover but nothing on the sides. It was just like the top thing, whatever they call them things. Canopy, something. I don't know, dude.
Interesting when you're on the ground in Moscow, and I was there last month, and this has been an ongoing issue. So I was asking students about it on campus.
Yeah.
There is this sense in the small college town that they want the house gone.
Who the fuck, dude? What'd you do? Go talk to fucking people like that weren't there? Maybe, I don't know, maybe because they thought I was part of the community or something. That's the only thing, because when I was going around talking to people, I had Idaho University gear on. I had Washington State University gear on. I was kicking it, you know. Maybe because they were, I don't know. Maybe because they knew he was Brian Enton. They're like, oh, yeah, we better say this. Otherwise, you know, people side-eye us and shit, disagreeing with what the university wants. But maybe to me, they're like, yeah, I think it's bullshit. I don't know. That's odd.
It's a painful reminder of what happened. Also, remember, Ashley, I mean, these are college kids. I mean, they want to move on with their college career. Yes, they respect the victims, and the candlelight vigil on the 1-year anniversary was packed with thousands of these kids. So, you know, they respect the victims, but in many ways, they want to move on, and there's this sense that the town wants to move on.
I'd be so curious about the students at the University of Idaho in the criminal justice program who may look at things a little differently than, say, somebody who's, you know, in law or in politics or, you know, commerce or something like that.
Why? Just because it was a criminal act? When you minimize it to a criminal act, you minimize the impact that it had on the victims, and every person should have the same amount. Because it's a person, not an act, Ashley.
So let's talk about the date, December 28th. I don't see any changes. I don't see anything from the university side of things where they're wavering like they have a couple times in the past. So what the choice of that date is actually pretty clever, isn't it?
It is, and the plan does seem set in stone this time. I mean, you and I have talked about it. They've got the contractor lined up. They've got the media staging area. And the date, I mean, it sort of makes sense from their perspective. It's after Christmas. It's before New Year's. There's not a lot of people on campus.
Yeah, and there's not going to be many people to be around either, because most people are going to be out of the, you know, it's a perfect day to start it. It's the same day you matched up Daddy's DNA with BK's DNA last year, 1 year to the date. That's what Ann Taylor's been wanting this whole time, and you keep saying you ain't got it. In between Christmas and New Year's. So when are most people gone? In between Christmas and New Year's. So yeah. They're probably like win-win, double fisting.
Campus during that time. I've been there around that time, and in the summer when the students are gone. I mean, it's almost like a ghost town, so it makes sense that they would want to do it then. They said it's going to take a couple of days. But in terms of timing, I went back looking through all the statements that we've gotten, and I went back to March 22nd, so 9 months ago. That was the first time I saw that we had an email that was sent to the victims' families, and I want to read you part, Ashley. It was from a lawyer at the University of Idaho who emailed the families and said the homeowner gifted the house to the University of Idaho with the intent by both parties
to
that it be
demo.
demolished.
Yeah, to demo.
So that was 3 months after Brian Koberger's
Yeah.
arrest, and they already intended to tear that house down and said that it was the opinion of the homeowner and the university who had been gifted the house. So they've wanted this house down basically since the beginning, Ashley.
I just keep going back to the, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas school, where, horrendous school shooting happened in 2018. And it was 4.5 years before the, I call it the sort of the murder or the death penalty phase in the case was played out, because the defendant pleaded guilty, so it just had to be a death penalty a phase that needed a jury, which was a couple months long. But they kept that school intact. Just imagine those hallways with book bags scattered, bloodstains scattered. They did not clean up that scene. They preserved the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas school scene for 4.5 years. Brian, I just found out tonight, it's still not even demolished. The demo on that school isn't scheduled until summer of 2024. Another 6 months. Yeah. So you think about that case, and he pleaded. It was just a death penalty phase they needed to deal with there.
That school, Ashley, by the way, that building is in the middle of the school campus there in Parkland, Florida. So there are kids that had to walk around that building every single day. Remember, this house is to the side of the campus. It's not right in the middle of the campus. And
it's not out in the middle of nowhere, and you don't have students even walking by it. What are you talking about, bro? Let me show you a picture. This is... You don't even have people walking by it. Where in the hell? All right. So when you're looking at the photo of, here, I'll even show this. Yeah, this is a perfect photo. Stop the screen share. Who in the hell's walking by seeing this fucking house? Like, who's walking by seeing this house? Unless you're right here, and you'd have to be here by the dumpster. Otherwise, you got that building blocking it. And you might even have these houses blocking it. So really, you have to be right there, right by the house. Really, on just half. Okay? King Road, Queen Road. You can't really see it back there. Or you're on Nez Perez Drive. Okay? Now, when you're talking about the university, who in the hell? This isn't Parkland School that has this huge flat area around it that has nothing by it. It's a little bit different than your universities here. Why are you... The house is here. You're only seeing it here, right here, and right here. That's basically it. Why are we comparing it to a school that is on a wide, like, and you're talking about little children that are in elementary school? Of course, tear that school down. When you have kids that have to walk to school every freaking day right next to the property that the shit took place at, yes, tear it down. Why in the hell are we comparing that to this house, which is damn near hidden from everybody except for people right here? And it's not that hard to figure out that it's the president's residence. Look, it says right there on Google, and it has said it on Google the whole time. Use Google. It works. You used it for the 2-window truck and compared it to the 1-window truck. This is all you're seeing. I don't know. It's like I don't know, Brian. What's up, bro? Are you falling in line now or what?
Douglas.
Are you falling in line?
For 4.5 years. Brian, I just found out tonight it's still not even demolished. The demo on that school isn't scheduled until summer of 2024. Another 6 months. Yeah. So you think about that case, and he pleaded. It was just a death penalty phase they needed to deal with there.
That one should have been done
that
ASAP.
School,
that's some ass backwards shit. That should be done, like, because you already know what the fuck took place. You already know. It's on video. You know what I'm saying? It's on video. Inside. You already know. Why that's up, I don't know. That's ridiculous.
Actually, by the way, that building is in the middle of the school campus there in Parkland, Florida. So there are kids that had to walk around that building every single day. Remember, this house is to the side of the campus. It's not right in the middle of the campus. And in Parkland, they put these beautiful banners of the victims up, a big fence and beautiful banners of the victims. So when the kids walked around, they saw their beautiful faces. I don't understand why that hasn't been brought up in Idaho. I mean, they haven't put a big fence around the house or tried to block off view.
Maybe the looky-loo part
of
it, where they have crime tourists, which maybe at Marshallstone and Douglas, because it was a school shooting, maybe there wouldn't have been as many. I'm not sure, but one really quick question, and I'll have.
I mean, let's be honest, people. They do have a fence, but I was there. They have hourly wage, rent-a-cop. How expensive when you saw what kind of vehicle they're driving. That thing gets amazing gas mileage, so it can sit there and be running the whole night. And do you not think that if the dude wasn't sitting outside 1122, he'd probably be sitting outside of a bank or some office building? You know? You act like you have to, like it's this, the university acts like it's this extravagant cost to have a rent-a-cop sit at the fucking property in a little cube vehicle that you can probably leave running for 2 weeks on a full tank of gas. You know what I'm saying? So you're probably paying $15 an hour for somebody to sit there in a vehicle, and you have, I mean, gas has got to be cheap for that fucking vehicle. The little cube, you all know the little cube SUV, little teeny shit. If they made 2 cylinders, it would be a fucking 2-cylinder. That thing has to have great gas mileage. It ain't got no balls in it, but it's got great gas mileage. So $15 an hour in a humongously economical fuel vehicle, and that's such an extravagant cost that you can't afford. I mean, seriously, How much, if anybody wants to find out, how much does an average security guard make in frickin' Moscow? There you go. There's your cost, and then you got the fuel. So they make enough money. They get everything donated, you know? They get everything donated. Yeah. You could literally, you don't even have to have a fucking vehicle. You could literally get a space heater, have a little whatever, tie it into the electricity, have a little teeny fucking little shack there, you know? Fuck the vehicle. Have a little teeny shack that's in front that, you know, you can go buy one at Home Depot already pre-built. Throw the motherfucker on the gravel, tie into the electrical pole that's sitting there, right in front of the property, tie into the electrical pole, and fucking there's your security post. Then it's even cheaper, right? What? All right. Let's get to the rest. I don't know. It sounds like he's starting to fall in line now, and I hope not.
That is that. Is there anything left?
I hope not.
Any Hail Mary pass that anybody can present to put this demolition off?
Well, I've been talking to sources about that question, and there's one thing that I've come up with. It's called a civil action. It's possible that someone, perhaps the victim's family member, could file a civil lawsuit against the University of Idaho, and then as part of that lawsuit, ask for an injunction claiming that the house is potentially evidence. And if they do that, it is possible that they could keep the house standing. It's a big if. Also, it would be very expensive. I mean, I'm talking $100,000, maybe more, for a massive lawsuit. And remember, you're up.
And Truth and Transparency is right. Let's shout out to her again. And she's right. If people just donate $1, she's so beautiful. If people just donate $1, and share her video too, please. If people just donate $1, think about it, right, Kentucky girl? Like, think about it. When she was in her episode, and she said a quarter, 50 cents, $1. If Steve, sets up something, you don't think this whole community that's out there, and I don't know, I mean, think about it. She's absolutely right. And shout out to her for making that video. Because people heard. You know what I'm saying? People heard. And it's true. Even if we just donate $1, $5, $10, imagine, and who knows, maybe Steve G already got in contact. You know what I mean? I hope. I would be there if I could. Shit. But that's an expensive trip, and I just went. I wish I could just fucking over there, halfway across, more than halfway across the country, damn near across the country. It's a little different than a few states away. That's a little different. Because I would have already been out there putting flyers and door handles like, yo, if you don't support this, come on and join. All right, hold on. Let me see what we got here. So this is Lawn Crime Shannon Gray. Thank you. Thank you, Caddy. And we'll watch this one next here. Let me get their link here. All right, there we go. The school was filming. I'm not sure about. I don't know when I'm gonna be streaming the next. Because I'm gonna be actually doing more driving than visiting. Because I'm gonna be going to different spots, and I'm trying to cram a few different spots in like a less than a week period. So I can't tell you for sure. I'll be popping in here and there. But I can't say for sure I will. But I probably will hang out on Christmas Day with you guys. Yeah, I just can't. I can't say we're gonna do it at this time or whatever. You know, everything's gonna be. It all depends on the trips and how the traffic goes and how this situation is at this spot. And you know, like I said, I'm gonna be trying to hit a few spots in a few days just to try and. I probably will, because Christmas Day will probably be the one day that I am chilling. So I probably will be on Christmas. Honestly, because that will be one day. Nothing's gonna be open. I can almost guarantee you that I will. I don't know when. Well, tonight's gonna be my last show that I'm gonna be like studio because tomorrow I gotta get ready for the trips. I gotta get all that stuff done ready. I got to you know, all the prep and all that. And then after that, and then it's a lot of driving. So it all depends on the traffic. You know how the traffic's gonna be, so I'm sure it'll take me longer to get from here to here because of the holidays and all that stuff. So if I do a lot of lives, or if I do any, most of them will probably be as I'm driving, because like I said, I'll be driving more than I'll be visiting. But other than that, I would say Christmas would probably. It's not from one to. I'm going to be going to different spots, Nina. I'll be traveling, hitting different spots for the holidays, and then be back here right after that. And then we got some shows coming up, and then the new year. Yeah, if I do any streaming on the road, it'll probably be over at the lounge. Oh, thanks. All right, where is that lawn crime? All right, right here.
Is this good for the prosecution? Is this good for the case?
The family of Kaylee Gonsalves, one of the 4 University of Idaho students murdered in a house near campus more than a year ago, hoping beyond hope that the demolition of the house where Kaylee and her friends were murdered will be stopped. The University of Idaho says the house is coming down next week. I'm Anjanette Levy. It's Monday, and this is Crime Fix, Law and Crime's look at the top stories in the world of crime.
I love the music.
The demolition of the house on King Road will begin on December 28th, 3 days after Christmas. The University of Idaho now owns that house where Maddie Mogan, Kelly Gonsalves, Xana Carnodal, and Ethan Chapin were murdered on November 13th, 2022. The school has been clear since the beginning that it planned to demolish the house, but that hasn't been sitting well with at least 2 of the victims' families.
When they're like, that house is gone, it is going to be very emotional for me. But that wasn't why the emotional side of things. It was strictly like, is this good for the prosecution? Is this good for the case?
Neither the prosecution nor Brian Koberger's defense team have objected to the house being demolished. In fact, both sides signed off on the house being turned over.
What do you guys think about that? Thanks, Judge. I've been somebody said that, brought up Art Bell before a long time ago, and I was like, man, I love Art Bell. If anybody knows who Art Bell is, look it up. Midnight in the desert. Coast to coast. Midnight in the desert. What do you guys think, though, after what Yolie said? You know, I did see a lot of stuff being talked about being ineffective counsel because she agreed with the demo. But Yolie brings up a very good point, and she says, yeah, but for the defense, that's good, because then that means that the prosecution can't paint Koberger in that house in the jury's mind. So now that I think about it, at first I was like, man, you know what? Yeah, Art Bell. I was like, man, you know what? I would love to do a radio show, honestly. I mean, where it's just radio and not true crime. Maybe I should start another channel where we also talk about just stuff, not true crime. Not true crime. It makes sense though, because at first I was like, yeah, maybe maybe she is kind of having it ineffective because, you know, the family doesn't want it. They do bring up good points when it comes to what if the jury, right, needs to. But then no, actually, with what Yolie brings up, no wonder she wanted it tore down, because I never thought about that. I never thought about it, how the prosecution in the closing arguments would be painting Koberger walking through the property. If they really went there, they're mentally walking him through there, and perception is already half the way there. So maybe it is effective counsel, because she's like, yeah, tear this thing down as quick as possible, because that means that no jury member is going to be able to paint him walking through those halls that they would have walked through. It's a very good point. Maybe it is effective. Maybe it is very effective. Maybe to her, she's like, yes, instead of the prosecution fighting us to have the demo, they're going right along with it. It's working in our favor. Maybe it is effective counsel. I never thought about it. Shout out Yolie.
To the school earlier this year. Koberger is being held in the Latah County Jail, accused of the murders of those 4 students. He has maintained his innocence up until this point. The defense and the prosecution have been back to the house recently to take measurements for exhibits to be used at trial, so the jury will not be taken to the house, because obviously the plan is to take it down. In a statement last week, the school's president said, "It is the grim reminder of the heinous act that took place there. While we appreciate the emotional connection some family members of the victims may have to this house, it is time for its removal and to allow the collective healing of our community to continue."
That's a joke.
Give the gift of whiskey this holiday season with the Whiskey Raiders Bottle of the Month Club. Each month, the experts at Whiskey Raiders, Raiders.com, or by clicking the link pinned in the comments below.
Anyway.
And this month only, you can use the promo code HOLIDAYS23 for an exclusive holiday discount on your purchase. Joining me to discuss the demolition of...
Did he just get out of the fucking shower or what? What the hell? He just got out of the shower, didn't he? Is he wearing a fucking bathrobe? No, that's a collared shirt. Is that the new... I don't know. Maybe I'm not hip with the new hairstyles. Is this a new hairstyle? Or
I don't know.
Messy is the new... messy is the new kept, you know?
I have no idea.
You get the style gel going, you kind of make it, shake it around, you get it all messy.
That's for well, the females can do that.
It's like, yeah, I just came from a wind tunnel. All right. Anyway, I like that shirt she's wearing. Usually she's all dressed up. That's cool.
King Road house is the attorney for Kaylee Gonsalves's parents, Shannon Gray. Shannon, thanks for coming on. I know that we had spoken before in the summer about how the family objected to the house being demolished before trial. That is now happening, despite the prosecution and the defense saying, "Yeah, we don't want the house anymore. We don't need it," but you guys still object to the house being knocked down before trial.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were under the understanding initially that they would just keep it. You know, they stopped the demolition for some reason in the spring, or I guess it was in July. And we thought, well, if they found a good enough reason to stop it then why wouldn't they keep that reason and go all the way to trial? But, you know, we got an email the other day from the University of Idaho, really kind of just took us back how quickly, you know.
Look at how rotted that is. See right here? All that rottenness. Hold on.
Stop the demolition for some reason in the spring, or I guess it was in July. And we thought, well, if they found a good enough reason to stop it then why wouldn't they keep that reason and go all the way to trial? But, you know, we got an email the other day from the University of Idaho, really kind of just took us back how quickly.
Look at that. That's just, I can't imagine like trying to you'd probably fall through all that.
You know, we got an email on.
Oh, they still got the cinder block sitting there. They took the couch, but they still got the cinder block.
The 14th, and the demo's scheduled for the 28th. So it's pretty shocking that they would send us such short notice, probably because they know that we're going to try to fight them on it. So
you said you're going to try to fight them on it. How are you going to try to do that?
Well, you know, part of the issue with this is that, you know, last time we just kind of voiced.
Okay, so, this is how come people, why is the word going around that he wasn't doing nothing and this video came out 2 days ago? So he's already saying right there that he's trying to do something.
Yeah, I just don't know what.
This was 2 days ago. There was people making videos the last couple days about how he's not doing nothing. And why hasn't he done anything? But really, this is
he's saying,
he's saying we're doing, yeah. Huh. That's crazy. I guess I have to question.
Well, just, yeah.
Because I'm going off of what these people are saying is truth. When, hell, this was out 2 days ago. Did I have this in my playlist? Let me see. Yeah, I had it. We just never got to it. Huh.
Yeah, listen to the whole video.
Wow. Well, I wonder why people were saying that, because I've seen it all over today about how he's not doing shit and hasn't done nothing.
Really kind of just took us back how quickly, you know, we got an email on the 14th and the demo's scheduled for the 28th. So it's pretty shocking that they would send us such short notice, probably because they know that we're going to try to fight them on it. So
yeah, like the University of Phoenix.
Try to fight them on it. How are you going to try to do that?
Well, you know, part of the issue with this is that, you know, last time we just kind of voiced our opinion. You know, sometimes the public can help out. And when we put out a statement where we're saying, you know, why not just leave it? What's wrong with just leaving it? And I think everyone in America understands that. Like, why not just leave the house where it is? If you don't need it, great, right? Then, you know, the trial goes and you demo it after the trial. But what if, which has been the case in the last couple of months, people have needed to get back in there, right? And it would have been demolished. So these two opportunities that the defense and the prosecution have had the opportunity to do, if they had followed through with their plan, the University of Idaho, the house would already been demoed by then. So what would they have done then, right?
Right.
Did you all ask yet again? Did you ask the university yet again to halt their plan? I mean, obviously they've got a company hired to do this. They've sent out a map with where the media should be parking if they want to observe this. They want to get it done before the kids come back from winter break.
They say because, you know, it'll be less disruptive that way. So have you said to them, hey, you know, we're opposed to this?
Oh yeah, I mean, they've known we're opposed to it, and I sent them another email. You know, they sent the email to us telling us about it, and I sent them a response email, a pretty harsh one. You know, I thought it was a little premeditated, and I thought that you know, the short notice was premeditated, and you know, why would you do it around Christmas, right? The 28th. I mean, especially for the families, and I think the statement kind of says itself. They're going.
So he was doing something as soon as they found out he was doing something. So, I don't know. I was watching these videos from these other creators that I trust, the ones that are making videos about this whole topic itself and about how Shannon Gray needed, why hasn't he done anything, you know? These videos where it's like with Harsh, you know what I mean? People were like commenting about shit without knowing. Well, then why are you even commenting about it if you don't know? Because he's already said 2 days ago that he's been helping since the shit went down.
Well, the question is what he's doing. I mean,
I'm talking about what other people are saying.
Yeah.
He's already doing something. He just said he's already sent multiple emails, and the day that they found out, he sent them a rather harsh email. The day they found out, he already started doing something.
Well, all I can say is as the attorney, I guess you start there, but if you
I'm just going off of what other people are saying. It's not like an attorney question or anything. I'm just saying I'm trusting certain people when they're putting out content, you know, because I don't have 24 hours a day to be doing, you know, doing work. And this is a video we've had. We just never got to it because we're too busy discussing real shit like university and police department and all this other shit. And then I come across these things and I'm like, oh, Shannon Gray ain't been doing shit. Like, wow, that's, you know what I mean? And then I'm so it's like, whoa, if this has been out for 2 days and he's already claiming that, well, then how come? It just reminds me of the shit like with Harsh. People putting out videos and commenting on shit when they don't even know. And when you have a following that's like way more than me, I would expect you to do way more than me of homework. That's why I trust them. So even if he was emailing, that's still doing something. I'm sure he's, you know, like when we were talking earlier, I'm sure he's said, hey, I know some civil attorneys. If anything, I'm sure he pointed Steve in a direction, did what he could on his end because he has limits, right? So he probably did what he could right away on his end and has been trying to help in whatever way he can. And maybe just the fact that it's civil and not criminal. I went into the Tonight Show thinking he ain't been doing shit. I guess I just won't trust those people anymore when it comes to their. Because it sounds like he is.
Gonzalez's family statement where it talks about it's, you know, the house has evidentiary value, at least we believe it does. And then, you know, there's an emotional attachment to the house. And so, you know, a lot of those things should be taken into consideration, and the family feels like it's not. So the Coronado family, I've spoken with Jeff, and he feels the same way as the Gonzalez family.
Wow, he's even helping
Chapin
them
family,
out.
obviously. I don't have any contact with them. So.
Wow. So he's even been helping out the Coronado family as well. Wow. So that's even 2 times. Why are we trashing on this guy that he's not doing nothing when he's even trying to help the Coronado family?
Jeff Kernodle, Xana's father, thinks it should stay until after the trial.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Look at that.
So you don't really, the last
I'm
time
gonna
we
say
talked about
props.
this too, you said there really aren't any
Yeah, I'm
legal
gonna say
avenues that you can
props. I'm
explore to hold
sorry.
this. It would be more of a public.
You know, and I'm just not. No, I just after that, it's like, damn. If where's your, yeah,
public outcry type thing.
yeah.
Well, I mean, ultimately, you know, I think there could be some civil remedies that could be pursued, but what you'd be doing is fighting the University of Idaho. You know, yeah, people don't understand that these families are families, and they don't have unlimited resources to pursue a legal battle against a giant like the University of Idaho that has legal counsel on staff all the time, right?
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of people are limited by resources.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is where he's talking about there possibly are civil remedies and the families are limited by resources. Well, again, that goes to what Brian Enton was saying about the cost of doing this. And if I would investigate the cost of what it would cost to file a ex parte application for a temporary injunction and the time that it would take to do it, I'm pretty sure it's not astronomical. At least that first part.
Right.
So when he's talking about that, I'm not sure that I don't know if he's investigated it already as to how much it would cost, but sure, they have attorneys on, you know, the university has attorneys that can come back
for
and
sure.
Yeah, but why is, of course they're going to have that. So why is that an impediment?
So this is okay. So because I can see it could, you know, like the cost is going to come from the majority of having the attorney's time. So there's not a civil attorney in Idaho that you think is willing to take on the university. I mean, all it is a paperwork process, is it not, Yolie? You submit the paperwork with your argument about it possibly being you know, a sketchy situation when it comes to how you present it, when it comes to like the father changing the lock and all that stuff.
The civil
all
case.
You need to do is file the paperwork to stop it, and that you're not even talking what you're talking like months. You're not talking like right now. The cost of it would really be to have the attorney step up, file the paperwork, submit the paperwork, and then bam, it's halted. You worry about the price as it keeps going.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. And in terms of, you know, the law is what it is. At least, you know, if you have a civil case, the families have a right to pursue a civil case. They have a right. And they have a right to have evidence preserved. So, for example, if there's a slip and fall case in a liquor store and somebody who injures themselves badly and they go to an attorney, the first thing the attorney does is send a letter of preservation of the video. Okay? Don't destroy the video. You need to preserve it because it's evidence. So the same would apply here. Okay? So if you know, there was an injury in the home, or, you know, the unalivings happened in the home, and the partial responsibility was on the homeowner because of various things, and the homeowner gifted it away, and now they're going to demolish it. Well, they're not preserving it for a civil case, which I believe they have a right to have it preserved, the families, if they're going to file a civil case, and they've already filed their notices, government claims. That's what you have to do before you file a lawsuit. So yes, I mean, what is the university going to do? What are they going to say? No, they don't have a right to a civil case, so we have all the rights, and we're just going to tear it down. And if a judge sides with that, there's an appellate issue there. It doesn't, the fact that the university has attorneys and they have resources has nothing to do with getting this stopped, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree with you. That's
so when I
we could be because Shannon Gray said this 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, it was Monday. So really, because as of Monday, he was like, yeah, I let them know. I helped out this other family too. Shout out Shannon Gray, because I thought that you weren't doing shit, because I trust, but not anymore. But anyway, we could be waking up tomorrow and see that there was paperwork filed from a civil attorney for that.
It's possible.
Nice. Because I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, that's the remedy. So, but when Shannon Gray is talking about it, and you'll see the rest of the video, he goes into more. Yeah, the issue. Well, I'm looking at the temporary restraining order. You'd have to do significantly 25 cases. Yeah, the issue about standing. The standing is the fact that they filed a government claim and they've given their notice of intent to sue. So the university is on notice that the families intend to sue. Okay, I don't know what the time limitations are once you file the government claim, what they are in Idaho, but once you say we're going to sue, you have to preserve all evidence for the civil case. And it's like I said, that's what gives you standing. Like if a client comes to me, they got injured in a 7-Eleven and it just happened yesterday. Well, guess what? The first thing you do is you send a letter saying we intend to sue for injuries. You need to preserve the video.
That's by email. That can happen by email.
It can happen by email. It can happen. Usually what you do
Shannon Gray could have said, hey, I know this civil attorney, Steve. I know this civil attorney, Kernodle family, Gonsalves family. Reach out to them. And then that civil attorney could have then sent an email to the university saying, guess what? This is what we plan on doing. And so it doesn't matter if they want
but how hard they want. It sounds like that was already done numerous times.
From what Shannon Gray said? Or
yeah, because they did it the first time, okay. And the university agreed to withhold the demolishing.
So it wasn't probably, so when all of the times that they kept desensitizing everybody, claiming they were going to tear it down and then backed off, it was probably because they were getting emails and not from public pressure. Then it was probably the emails that made them back off.
Probably. And so now the only remedy, since it's going to happen on the 28th, is to get a preliminary injunction to stop it. Temporary preliminary injunction. And the standing comes from the fact that you already told them you intend to sue. So they have a duty to preserve that evidence. And if they don't, then it's spoliation of evidence. And it used to be a cause of action in California that you could sue for that, not anymore. But still, I don't know what the laws are in Idaho, but that's the whole point I'm trying to make, is that you need to do it now because you've already done all that. You met and conferred with them. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. That's what I was telling everybody, when we found out that it was happening. And that's what I was telling everybody before, right when we found out. It's like, okay, now's the time where we have to protest. We did the emails, we did the calls, we did the petitions, all of that stuff we thought worked, but really it probably was just emails from the attorneys. But that's what I was saying when we first found out last week, like, yo, we need to get there. And then not even knowing law, that's something, a week ago that because beyond the protest, I'm sitting here thinking public pressure, protest, but really we should have been kind of gathering this whole conversation about the process, and yeah, the protests might not have even worked either then, really, because if it's not public pressure,
yeah, it's
a protest might not have even.
It might have helped, I don't know, but definitely, you know, if you don't do anything, you're just waiving your rights, and you know, that's why maybe some people are saying things, but we also don't know what he's done, you know, to help them in terms of getting a civil attorney, or in terms, but just right now, what he's saying,
He's helping the Kernodle family, so I'm sure he's doing everything he can.
But right now, what he's saying about the university has resources, and it's, you know, they have to go up against the university, and it's already blah blah blah. No, it's not about of course the university has resources. That the law is the law, though. I mean, you know, this is the thing.
Yeah, but with court, you can drag it out, though. That's the beautiful part about it, right?
You can, but not with this.
Okay.
Because it's a what is it, declaration of rights. Like it's one of these things you file, and it's like you file, and it's a ex parte application for a preliminary injunction to keep the home up so that it's not demolished, and you state your reasons. We've already given them notice that we have a civil case. This is part of the civil case. They have a duty to preserve the evidence, regardless of whatever criminal case is going on. We've already given the notice that we're going to sue. So the owners, they have to preserve the evidence. They can't just go on and...
Oh, so is it a thing where because they emailed and let the university know we're going to sue, and now the university's like, okay, you've already told us you're going to sue because we have powerful lawyers behind us. We're already able to fast track it to get it demoed, because even though you sent those emails and warned us, so now you need more firepower to come back to stop us?
They filed government claims. They didn't just send emails that they're going to sue. They filed what's called the tort claim against the public entities. So they filed those.
Tort? How do you spell that? Tort.
T-O-R-T claim.
T-O-R-T claim.
Tort claim.
Oh, okay.
So it's an actual process. It's in the civil code, and they actually filed that, is my understanding. And like in California, that's what you do. When you want to sue a public entity, you just can't go file a complaint. You have to file a government tort claim, and you have to allow the government to investigate and possibly settle it before filing a lawsuit. It's only when the government tells you we're rejecting your claim, then you have the ability to file it in court. In this case, it's not, because it's a temporary injunction, or, you know, a preliminary injunction type of thing. It's a declaration of rights. You know, it's like, we have a right to have it preserved. So it's a declaration of rights, which, you know, usually doesn't get hung up, because the rights need to be determined, right? And there's an emergency because they're going to do it on the 28th. So, you know, it's it just drives me insane.
Jethro, I would love to file a tortillas claim, because tacos sound so good.
I just have Mexican food.
Governor's office. It's a publicly funded university paid by the taxpayers. It's public property, since it was donated to the new. Public has a voice, but public has to speak up. Maybe a protest would have then.
Well, I don't know.
I'm telling you, I would have went to every damn house. I mean, you can't tell me, you know, shit. You print off 30,000 pieces of paper. Or hell, you don't even have to print off 30,000. You could have printed off 10, cut it up into 3s, and then stuck each one of those in a mailbox or a freaking door.
Come back on video. I don't want to be talking to you.
Oh, hold on. I was just getting up to make my coffee. 1 second.
Okay. He's getting dressed. Just makes me so angry.
All right.
Okay.
I get to freaking talking when I go to make my coffee, and then I never end up making my coffee.
Yeah, the thing
It
is,
was. I don't even know if it's cold or warm anymore. Honestly, it's been sitting back there for a minute.
Yeah. So that's it's a whole legal thing. I mean, it's like it's really getting me anxious because I just want to jump in and do something, because I think there's something that can be done, and it can be done relatively quickly.
I wish. I don't know. To me, it sounds like leading demo efforts. That's a good question, Crime Solver. Do you think it could be the FBI leading demo efforts and they got something bigger cooking?
Well, I don't know that the FBI owns the property, so it's the property owner that has the rights over the property. Now, if the FBI wants to start owning property, then they might have. If they want to take over and own the property, then that's
It's a good question.
Yeah, possibly.
That's a good statement too.
Mm-hmm.
They have standing in court to stop the demolishing. It was publicly announced the house was a target. The house is the evidence. And like you were saying, the dad was even coming out there to replace locks.
Yeah, and then the federal, there could be federal charges for some people regarding this. I know that Mr. G made some statements about other people getting information on other people. I don't know. But if there's a federal thing going on, and I think that the agencies are not in agreement, like the Moscow PD, the Idaho State Police, and the FBI. It sounds like they're not in agreement about demolishing this house.
Why you say that?
I heard it. I think it was Steve G who said it.
Said what?
He said that the agencies are not even in agreement about the demolishing of the house. The various agencies involved.
What, on that last interview they had?
One of the interviews.
With News Nation? Huh, I must have missed that. Let me, yeah, I'd like to hear that too. Let me see here. Let me get this. We got about a little over 40 left. Let me see here. All right, let's see what else he has to say on this one. And is that the let me know in chat if you guys know, is that the last News Nation interview he was on?
Right. So, a lot of people are limited by resources and what they're able to afford and what they're able to do. I mean, that's in the world in itself. People are limited by resources, So I think that, there could be some civil remedies out there, but I don't think the families have the resources to pursue those at this time. So,
this thing has slowed down. Things seem to have come to a halt a bit.
Okay, that's what I
since
thought.
Brian Koberger waived his right to a speedy trial. I mean, I think a speedy trial was very unrealistic given the magnitude of this case, the amount of evidence to go through, the fact that it's a death penalty case. Do you have a feeling for when it may actually go to trial? Do you think it will be later in 2024, or could we be looking beyond that?
Well, the families we've been in contact with, Latah County Prosecutor's Office, trying to figure out what the opinion is on a time frame on getting a trial date. And, the judge, they're understanding the judge has to make some decisions on some evidence and things like that before a trial date is scheduled. I don't think anybody knows when the judge is going to make those decisions. So I think it's frustrating for the family. It's absolutely frustrating for the family to not have a trial date. And then the University of Idaho go ahead and moving forward on this and giving us 2 weeks notice that they're going to demo a home that they've known we've fought them on for the last year. And so, you know, it's frustrating. And, you know, if
the
you
government claim, God, the government claim, they filed a government claim. It's like, you need to say that, Shannon.
Oh, well, I mean, it's only halfway. He might. I don't know.
I saw it, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Just let it.
If you have any say, you know, and you want to let the University of Idaho know how you feel, I would contact.
I mean, to me, it sounds like he's been helping since the beginning. I don't know why people are asking him why he hasn't helped.
Well, he sounds
like...
well. He sounds like he's helping, and he sounds
right.
and he sounds like he's helping. But it's what you have to do. You know, being a representative of the family, you know, you also have a duty to refer to counsel. But what he just said was that the family doesn't have the resources at this point. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means if they can't pay him to do it, or they can't pay a civil attorney, or they can't find a civil attorney. I don't know what that means exactly.
Well, I'm seeing, and that's probably why Brian Etten came out with his video last night, probably because he's seen this interview and then basically restated what he's saying, but then found out that it's like, because I keep seeing this 100,000 being tossed around. So 100,000 is what I'm seeing all over the place.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know, this person or people, there was a couple that have way more of a following than me, are like making a video talking shit about he isn't doing anything. And I'm like, so I'm trusting what they're saying. And
well, I just think that,
but obviously that's not the truth, because 2 days ago he's sitting there telling he's been doing shit since they found out that it was going to be demoed on the 28th.
Yeah, it's just about whether he's doing things, but it's about whether he's doing the right things. And I don't know if he's doing the right things, because he hasn't. I mean, the right thing to do would be to file, you know, a preliminary injunction. The right thing to do would be, if he can't do it, then he needs to refer them to a civil attorney who can. The right thing to do would be to send them to legal aid if they don't have resources. The right thing to do are things that you do as an attorney. As a person, it sounds like he's trying to help them. As a person, it sounds like he's trying to, you know, he talked to the Cornodals, he sent emails, he's sending emails just like he did before, hoping it will stop it. But what he's missing in all of this is that the families have rights based on that government tort claim they filed. And that's what really gets me, is because I think Shannon Gray was the one who filed it on behalf of the family.
Probably.
And it's like, dude, you filed a government claim, okay? You must know that the government claim centers around the university, it centers around the house, you know, the town. That's a vital piece of evidence. You must know that you need that, especially if you're going to sue the landlord, which you don't need a government claim to sue the landlord, the owner of the house at that time. You must know that that house is vital to the civil case, or maybe they don't intend to file a civil case. I don't know.
But sure
it frustrates.
If they want to stop it, I'm sure they do.
It frustrates me only because I'm an attorney and I'm like, what the hell? But you know, I don't know what he's done aside from what he's talking about here. And I hear you, CJ. It sounds like he's trying to help.
Ever since the beginning. That's why I'm saying, you know, I've watched these other channels, you know, even before I started my channel, I watched these other channels, and they have way more of a following than I do. And so when I watch a video about them bitching about Shannon Gray, why has he not done shit? You know, multiple videos about people talking shit about Shannon Gray not doing anything and hasn't done anything. Why hasn't he done anything? Where you been at? This and that. Just because we've been talking about other, hell, you've been in the
Well,
last few shows. Have we been able to even get to this video? Hell no. But damn, you think they would have if they're going to comment on it? Because I didn't make no video commenting about how Shannon Gray ain't doing shit because I didn't fucking know.
And the other thing I want to say is that, in terms of the family speaking, I'm just thinking that,
harsh people attacking harsh the same way, making videos they don't know, and then they're talking about shit that they don't.
The family is speaking, and
I don't make
Steve
videos of shit I don't know about. Sorry, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah, and Steve, Mr. G, he talks a lot, and he's a grieving father. I mean, I don't know, but he wants. I know, and this, his attorney probably should, not let him speak so much, but maybe Steve is the kind of guy that he doesn't care. He's going to speak anyway. I don't know.
I know. I'm just coming from us. It makes me think of the 2-window truck, 1-window truck, asking people, you guys are the best. You guys are the best sleuther community out there, and we're such this big army. Tell me what you think if it's the same truck. And it's like, whoa. So then I'm like,
oh,
it's just disappointing because or even the dot conversation, the manipulate. It's you look forward to these channels because you expect integrity and real questions and real facts and shit like that, because it is part of a media source as well. Just like watching a lawn crime video it's the same thing. It's all people's discussions and opinions and what they think and know, and so when we all are if there's a huge community and you have to, I guess maybe I worry more about the shit on this show and I'm just this compared to these other people.
Well,
it should be flipped around. You know what I'm saying? I should be the one saying Shannon Gray ain't doing shit. Why ain't Shannon Gray been doing? I should be the, you know what I mean? Like it should be flipped around, not the other way around where they have this huge following.
I haven't seen anybody else talk about him.
You'll see.
I mean, because I haven't seen, but I mean, I'm sure there are, but. Yeah. But my point is, it's just time is wasting, and
I don't think there's any hazardous. I don't think there's been any hazardous materials in there since they had everybody else walking through it.
Yeah.
House is gone. Can there still be a civil suit over unsafe living conditions? I think anything hazardous is gone. That's why they had the team in there cleaning it up. And then like when I was there and I heard saws and banging, it had to be them ripping out the guts of the house.
Well, I mean, you can have if the house is gone, you can have a civil suit, but you have a big piece of evidence missing. It's like, okay, so the 7-Eleven, he falls and breaks his hip. I send a letter to preserve the evidence, the video, and they destroy the video.
Yeah, like the Andy Wagner.
So you can still have a civil case, but the main piece of evidence is gone. So how's that going to help you?
Yeah. Ain't that some shit about the Andy Wagner case? The ring cam was deleted. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, it just made me think of that.
I'm sorry. That case is so sad.
Oh, trust me. I'm gonna be digging into it. Trust me. I saw a report on the news. That poor mom. Prayers. I saw a report on the news last week that the prosecution is pretty much driving this demolition. They want to rely solely on the Faro 3D scanning imaging. I think I remember a month after the crime took place, that's when News Nation went to that Faro company and wanted to know what kind of technology they were using. They were in there just weeks after the crime took place, taking scans of everything on the inside. And so that's when it was December sometime. And that's when they came out and said that the prosecution, this is according to them back then, a month after the crime took place, when it came to this 3D scanning stuff, was that they were wanting to have a jury be able to put in a VR headset and be able to do a virtual walkthrough. And I think I thought they even said something like it would be the first jury that would have a VR headset for a walkthrough, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I think they said
it's so setting up for an appeal.
Yeah. Which is even more reason why the house should be still there, right? When it comes to an appeal or whatever. Crime Solver, if house was targeted, is this demo to get rid of future target? What is in that house that is the target? Well, if you listen to my incel theory at Queen Road Apartments, that's where I think you can literally look at the property as a target. Because, and I'll drop the link for it if you haven't watched it. If you did, you kind of know what I'm talking about, where the house would be the target because of the setup of what the incel theory is able to do and how their obsession and reason to commit the crime as an incel would have taken place, and how it wouldn't have been somebody that had to even stake out or stalk a property, which is what I was saying in the video. It could literally have been somebody just coming home, and then it manifested over time from that parking lot because of what you could see from that parking lot. And that's how I could see the house, quote, being a target, is because you're not necessarily targeting the people itself. It started from the house, and it started from the accessibility of what you were available to have from the back of the property. And that's why I think it would have been a target, just the house. I never understood it before, but what do you think? Did you get to watch that at all? Or
yeah.
So I mean, that would be like the house being a target.
Yeah. It's not in a good place to be.
They didn't initially go to the back of that parking lot to commit the crime. It was kind of manifested in a natural way with their own obsessive tendencies and whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did brand the hell out of it with everybody standing outside doing all that stuff before.
Yeah. Like a magnet. Yeah.
So I mean, that's how I could see it
makes sense.
Being a target, Thank you, Cherry. Appreciate that. Ticket 89. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It's a free way to help. But yeah, and I don't know. The more that I think about it, when it comes to like if there's you have no idea how they left the crime, there's no evidence to show it. To me, it just the person, other than that patio, I'll switch to the picture of the house. Other than that patio, other than this patio, where can you really collect evidence of somebody if they're walking? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I start to really, think about this incel theory from Queen Road Apartments more and more, because to me, let's be honest, there's a white vehicle there. You can have a white vehicle driving all over the place, with fuzzy images, right? But when you say you don't even know how the person even left the house, well, then that means that there wasn't even anything on this cement slab. So to me, that says that somebody didn't leave out the sliding glass door. I think the sliding glass door was left open because the frickin' students couldn't handle the smell. And who was all walking inside? Other people. That's why I think the sliding glass door was open. I think that they either, went down over the third floor deck or this spot right here and then just jumped right down there and then walked back up this way, or simply just walked right across from here to over there, back over to Queen Road Apartments. I mean, if you're walking, whether you're back here or back crossing the street, and you're dressed in black, nobody's gonna think that you just did this crime. And when it comes to like not having any, did the officers go check beyond the parking lot? No. Did they really look like they were looking for even some kind of speckle of blood that was on the sidewalk? They didn't look very hard. They were just kind of walking around, looking through the bushes, looking down. That's why I'm saying this incel theory at Queen Road Apartments just makes more and more sense to me, because you don't even know where they went. So the person could have just walked right across the street and nobody would have thought anything different. Just like the roommate inside that heard the puppy wouldn't think anything different than the roommate playing with the puppy in her statement, because you're not going to think that a perpetrator's playing with your puppy.
Right.
And when it comes to seeing this house all the time and the kids walking by, no. Just this part you can see, and just from a couple blocks, and the university's not even there. So their reasoning is a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Front door open. No, the sliding glass door was left open. According to Ellie when they showed up. But like I said, it's 8 hours later. I wasn't surprised all the windows weren't open too, and maybe that's why. I don't know. You can't, especially if your friends are coming over to look around to see what's going on. That's probably why they were standing outside for so long, because they probably had to open the door and just wait. That's probably why it took so long. They just trying to wait. Because it's the kind of thing where you could try and want to go in there, but
yeah, Detective Golden keeps saying Garagos.
Oh,
I sent it.
yeah. All right, hold on. Let me see here.
Did we finish that video with Shannon Gray?
There's like half of it left, but I only got like a little over 20 minutes now. Let me see. Where's the Garrett? You sent it to me in
Discord.
Here's the link for this video if you want to watch the rest. I mean, he's pretty much probably just going to say the same thing, I'd imagine. As far as I'm concerned, I already saw that he's actually been doing shit since they found out that it was going to be demoed on the 28th. So, I'm good. Let's see here. Oh, it's an article.
No, it should be a video.
Oh, there it is. Attorney call. Oh, this is Brian Enton and Shannon Gray. And then the other one was an article. Hold on one second. I know they sent Shannon Gray. Garagos on Megyn Kelly. Garagos on News Nation with Cuomo. Cuomo?
Well, no. He was let me get it. Hold on.
I gotta get back to chat now. I got a link from Garagos on Megyn Kelly. You know what? We'll just play both of them. Screw it. I'll play the one from Cuomo first. Now I got to switch my screen share because it doesn't let me go from picture to... All right, there we go.
If we're going to cover this wall to wall, then let's be fair about this. There's a probable cause warrant or affidavit for a warrant that is uncross-examined, that has got holes that you could drive a Mack truck through. And I've listened to 20 minutes assuming that this is the guy. And, you know, there's a reason that in England they have the Contempt of Court Act, because when they bring over tabloidization over here, Fox News and Murdoch and everybody else, at least in England, when the person is accused and is started in the proceedings, they shut down the media. And there's a good reason for that, because this has been absolutely incomprehensible to me. I mean, if you want to know the truth, Chris, the father of the poor woman who's dead had more reserve, had more kind of compassion and understanding of the system than what I'm watching. It's really disturbing.
What is disturbing you exactly? What is different?
What's
on the
disturbing
strength of this? I know how you would defend him, Mark, but hold on. First of all, you know, tone is not always the same thing as tenacity. What I'm saying is, given the strength of the affidavit that they put forward, you think that there's any reasonable basis to question this arrest?
No, but I think there's a reasonable basis.
Let's start with that, because that's the same place
guilt.
I am. Could he beat the case?
No, because listen to what you said. Listen to what you said.
Please.
If there's probable cause, that's not guilt.
I didn't say it was.
That's probable cause. Well, I invite you to roll back the tape and take a listen, because
he just said that he was just saying that he could fight the case.
That they put forward. You think that there's any reasonable basis to question this arrest?
No, but I think there's a reasonable basis.
Let's start with that, because that's the same place I am. Could he beat the case?
No, because listen to...
See, he just said, could he beat the case? Of course. So I don't know what Garagos is saying.
Listen.
He said he could beat the case.
Said, if there's probable cause, that's not guilt.
I didn't say it was.
Probable cause. Well, I invite you to roll back the tape and take a listen, because I sat and listened intently.
I think
you did.
And you listened for what you wanted to hear, which was the disposition of a criminal defense attorney and how they feel about what's being put out there. And I respect your emotion.
That's actually an argument. That's a fallacy. That's an ad hominem to say criminal defense attorney, if that diminishes.
No way.
All right. Or is it just arguing or what? Because it ends in like 10 seconds.
Point. The point is, when you say, I'm just.
I don't know.
I don't know. I emailed you the one that I saw about the house.
Let me see. I
emailed it to you.
Oh, you emailed it. Oh,
but I also sent it. Oh yeah, there it is. I also sent it on Discord.
Yeah, this is an article.
No, if you go down, there it is.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's see here. I just saw the top and it was an article. Rewind.
Defense attorney and the co-host of the Reasonable Doubt podcast with Adam Carolla.
There we go.
So, Mark Garagos, your reaction to this concept, like hearing Cheney Mason saying, "Don't do it, just don't tear the house down," was pretty big for me. You know, to hear a criminal defense attorney of that ilk who has defended something that high profile saying, "Don't tear this house down," seemed like a big deal. I want to get your take.
He's, I think Cheney also, who I have a great deal of respect for, is retired, is he not, Ashley? Because I will tell you that most defense lawyers would probably not view or voice their opinion on this, because I will tell you a secret. The last thing that the defense wants is this house to be standing, because once that house is torn down, all bets are off in terms of the prosecution. You never know. Having tried scores of murder cases myself, you never know what's going to happen with a murder case. You just never, you watched them, Ashley. Inevitably, something happens in the trial that nobody was expecting, either the prosecution or the defense.
That's right.
One of the things that you usually have is the ability to test that against a crime scene. You're able to go out, you're able to do some further investigation. How many times I've made the argument to somebody that you can't now bring in this new piece of evidence in the middle of the trial. And I've heard the judge say, Mr. Garrigus, it's an ongoing investigation. Nothing stops that. Well, this stops that. You are not going to be able, the prosecution is going to hamstring themselves to exactly what their theory is. And I think, frankly, that could be a very, very significant mistake. I don't understand why the prosecution wants to do it. Mind you, I completely understand if I'm sitting. Yeah, I understand why the.
Whatever, Ashley. Whatever, Ashley. Holy shit. So he's like, yeah, you're right. He's saying it right there. Like,
yeah, you never know what's going to happen in a trial. I mean,
so that,
I don't know if
the fact that the prosecution wants to go along with it when he's saying this about what Ann Taylor's going along with, she's got to be. That's got, instead of ineffective counsel, that's got to be very effective counsel.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because it forecloses if the jury wants to see the house, and that's going to be the deciding factor, and it's not there. Well, guess what? They could just find not guilty or hung jury, or so the prosecution is the one who, I mean, that's
huge.
It's almost like, have you not tried a case before? I mean, like, crazy shit happens. You're on the fly when you're in trial. Surprise witnesses. You don't know. The witnesses change their testimony. I mean, it's like having people on panel here, and you never know what they're going to say. You know what I mean? That's
huge.
It's fluid, and you're foreclosing that. So to me, if they're foreclosing that and they're going to destroy the house, that they have some nerve.
That's huge. That's huge. Like, that's almost like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just to think about it, because like this whole time, like when she came out and agreed with it, we were all like, what?
Well,
and now
I
this whole time, like, she was,
I did too, but I have to put myself in her place. What would I do? Oh shit. I wouldn't want the jury walking in there and seeing Koberger in there as well, and then closing argument.
Because we're not coming from a defense standpoint. Right. We're coming from justice and truth. So really, it's like,
well, yeah, and
but for them, yeah, but for the defense, that's like, yo, you're gonna do what I already would love for you to do anyway. You just, and with it being the house, and with it being that important, she's probably like, son of a bitch, you just did everything and more that I wanted to do, because if anything, I would have thought that you would have wanted to keep that up as a power card, and you just gave it to me just to give it up because you have all your own plans on wanting it demoed. So maybe they both are winning. I don't know. Then is that why Steve G would say that he felt like the prosecution and the defense were working together sometimes, was because they were both in agreement with the demo, but really the defense was like, rock on, baby, let's go.
Well, yeah, I mean, I assume that Ann Taylor's doing everything she can to help her client, including making that argument about the whole probable cause and statute. I mean, it's a losing argument, but if you take it up on appeal, you might have something. So she's doing everything.
So, okay, say BK is convicted. Okay, in the house. So say BK is convicted and there's some kind of appeal or whatever. Would the house have been beneficial in an appeal for the conviction? when it comes to the house being a target, because they're the ones that stated it was a target first. Ellie did. It doesn't.
Well, if it depends on what the appeal is for. I mean, I guess if the appeal is that the jury wanted to see the house and they weren't allowed to see the house, that could be an appellate issue if they tore down the house.
What do you think would be like and
there's-
obviously we haven't even started in trial, but what do you think that the one thing that would bring this trial for an appeal if there was a conviction just based off of the facts that we know today without going into a trial? Like what would be your biggest thing that you think would be going for appeal? The IGG? Or
well, if they don't use the ITG, they're using that to challenge the problem, like how they determined he was a suspect, right? That wouldn't necessarily come into trial. In fact, the prosecution is saying, well, we're not going to use the IGG in trial, so you don't have to have it. Mm-hmm. But that's not the standard. It's
or the sheath.
Yeah, and so they don't intend on using it, but that's how they came to their suspect. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, you can't say, oh yeah, it's all over the probable cause affidavit. We sent it to Othram. Then the FBI took it and it matched, and that's why we went over there gung ho in Pennsylvania. And then say, oh, but we're not going to use it. You know why? Because we took a buccal swab of his cheek, and it matched the sheath. Okay, but you would have never been able to take that buccal swab if you didn't have the connection in the first place with the sheath and the lab. So it's like, So if I thought that there was going to be there's an automatic appeal on the death penalty. So automatically, if he gets convicted, there's an automatic appeal.
Yeah, the Richard's art, we went into the properties, ownerships and transfers and all that stuff in the beginning of the year, and that's when I had those couple polite emails asking me to remove their clients' names out of my episodes or take the videos down, and I did. It's like, no problem. Yeah. So if you've done that yourself, you know what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. You know the shit that they were in, and you know the shit that they got away with, and you know the shit of why I was asked politely to remove those videos. So I don't really discuss that shit anymore. What if FG wanted to have house for his civil case? Does he have any financial or legal standing there?
Well, that's what I was saying is that he filed a government claim against the town, the university. At least that's my understanding. So it's going back to that house as evidence for the civil case. So it's kind of like the analogy, 7-Eleven, he slips and falls. They come to me, I send a letter, preserve the video. And then if they destroy it, well, then you can still have a case, but you don't have the video. So yeah, he does. He does have, I mean, at least my opinion is he does. I mean, I certainly here in California, that's how it works. I would imagine that people's rights are the same in every state. I mean, you have a right to bring a civil suit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's okay, crime solver.
Do you think the DA wants it gone to save face since they don't have enough to convict BK beyond a reasonable doubt? Defense wants it because it helps their case. Well, no, or nobody wants it. Nobody wants it.
They're in agreement.
Yeah, they're in agreement that neither party.
I see what she's saying. Well, then I don't know how they would be saving face because if the jury needs to see it and they don't see it and they can't convict, then they just lost their case.
Yeah, reached out a couple times. That's when, because I was working with another creator back then. You'll actually see them on some of the other episodes during that time, and that's one of the things when me and the other creator split apart, because he was like, well, I have a lawyer friend and they're saying that it's completely fine, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're a dumbass if you believe that lawyer friend, because I already looked it up and it's fucking true. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, tell your lawyer friend they're wrong then, because no, they had every right. They had every right to.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
They had every right to file defamation shit. Yeah, they had every right to file defamation shit. That's why I took the videos down, because I reached out to my own legal advice and they were like, "Yeah, dude, you probably should like take it down right now." I said, "Okay, no problem." And to me, it was like, who cares about the views? Who cares about this? I don't care. Like, I'll take it down. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. There's certain episodes that you guys, just from prior guests or things like that, there's certain episodes that aren't even available unless you're a member. Just because, and it has nothing to do with defamation. It just says there's just some conversations I just leave for members, you know. So roll through the old shows sometime, members, and you'll see some of those episodes. See some of the people we had on the show. I just don't care to have a lot of that shit out there anymore. It's good. It's fine for the members, you know, not for the general public. Nah. No.
No, Crime Solver. It's Miguel's Jr. Mexican food.
Oh yeah, I know. I just got that game for the computer last month. The police simulator game. I bought it for the computer now, so even if I'm on the road, maybe I'll do that when I'm out on the road for holidays. Instead of streaming true crime, I'll just stream some police simulator.
Not while you're driving.
No, when I'm like no, because I don't know, like, you know, I don't, at this family's house, I don't know if I'll have a place that I can set up and do a stream, you know, so and that's why I'm like, well, maybe I won't be able to, because I don't know what the setups are gonna, you know, or if I'm even gonna be able to have the opportunity or whatever. So, but yeah, I don't have to have, you know, a setup to sit back and play police simulator with you guys. Shit, I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't do it on the road. I would if there was somebody else driving. Damn straight. I'd be fucking streaming the whole trip. All sorts of shit. But yeah, when I'm driving, no. I got to stay focused. All right. Let me get back to this Garagos thing. That's powerful shit right there.
The university wants to. I get that. I understand why the parents are divided over it. I get that also. I don't understand why the prosecution would allow this.
That's
to me,
crazy.
It makes absolutely no sense. And I think that they are going to, I'll make a bold prediction, that they are going to have grave regrets about that, because I think, like I said, something will transpire during the course of this trial where they wish they had that crime scene intact.
Do you see it? Because the one thing that Cheney Mason mentioned that sort of caught me off guard, because I guess I hadn't thought about it, was the appellate issues that could be raised by the defense if there's a conviction and a big piece of evidence is now missing. Do you see these appellate issues? Can you sort of prognosticate what they might be able to think through?
I can absolutely. That's why I said Cheney's retired, because I hate to kind of prognosticate, but I can think of 3 or 4 different examples of something that, without engaging in rank speculation, just something that could occur that the defense brings up in the middle of trial, that there could be an alternate suspect. There could be somebody else who was potentially a witness. There could be somebody who testifies differently at the trial than what their statement is to the police. You've got memorialized police statements, but inevitably at trial, They don't track. And if you want to test that, or you want to say, no, this couldn't be, for instance, they couldn't see from this particular angle because of this, and all you're left with are various camera angles or photos or videos that don't exactly capture that, that's a tremendous problem also for the defense, and the defense will raise that. The defense will say, we were foreclosed. We were not able to then go out and test this new theory. By the way, the prosecution never gave us this heads up. They've now introduced this piece of evidence during the trial. How are we supposed to test it? That could be an accomplishment. The prosecution at the same time is going to say
This
something
is a
along
good...
the lines of, Judge, it's an ongoing investigation. Of course we can bring this in, this piece of evidence and the defense will object and say, no, you can't, because we can't test it.
I wonder if, man, I know I'm a fucking nobody, but I would love to sit down and talk to that dude. Man, that's some crazy shit.
Well, that's the thing. If the prosecution brings something up that wasn't brought up before, and the defense attorney says, hey, that wasn't brought up before, we need the house, and it's gone. So I don't know if because they're agreeing to have it torn down, they waive anything. I don't think so. I think they can just say, hey, no, he can't introduce that evidence because the house is torn down and that requires the house, and sorry, you're SOL.
Shout out Crime Solver. Thank you for the gifted membership. Let me see here. I have to scroll up. It was given to Jethro. So thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, go look somewhere around like March, April. You'll see some interesting shows out there just for the members. Some old stuff. I was just, even after he was saying that, I'm just sitting here like, wow, this whole time when she was agreeing with this demo, I'm sitting here going, you know, that was the one thing other than the waiving the speedy trial. That was the other thing, that the two times where I'm just like, what's going on the defense side? But damn, like you listen to this. To me, it sounds like Ann Taylor's been a freaking all-star on the other side. Because this is huge.
And like I said, I think she's doing everything
huge.
That she can do,
Wow.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't want in closing argument saying, you remember when we walked down those stairs, and those are the stairs that Koberger's walking through because he's going to have to be there. And it's the visual. It's not good.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe, do you think, I wonder if waiving the speedy trial has anything to do with getting rid of the house as soon as possible.
No.
No?
No. She had to waive the speedy trial.
Yeah, she needed more
doesn't even
time
have
for
the discovery.
IgG. Yeah, the IgG and all that stuff. They needed more time to.
And if the prosecution wants to destroy evidence that's not going to, if the prosecution wants to destroy evidence that they may need in the future, so be it. She doesn't need it.
It probably would have been this situation. It probably would have been if she would have been given the discovery material, then I bet you the speedy trial would have took place.
Well, most likely, but there's also the amount of information that she had to go through. So it's like discovery, like I do discovery. Like if she gets a shit ton of stuff,
yeah, I'm saying if she got it in December when he was arrested, well, because they supposedly had it right, they had it before they arrested him. So to say that they didn't have it in the initial discovery, yeah, they should have had it. And that's what she's been asking for. And so maybe if she would have got it in December or January, that is plenty of time to run a bunch of tests. And maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe if she would have got it when she first asked for it, there would not, the speedy trial would have been taking place. Because she already would have had, at the time she needed to respond was in August. So she would have already had potentially 8 or 7 months to do this work with the IGG if she would have got it initially.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I just don't know if everything
3
would have been
times as long as
available.
it takes for them to come up with their shit, and you got 3 times as long as they had, I would imagine you'd be able to come up with enough information to keep going with the speedy trial. They probably screwed her over because they weren't giving it to her.
Well, yeah, I mean they weren't. Look, when the judge finally gave an order and said you need to produce it by this time, well then they did produce something. I don't know what it is, but
we're still waiting to find that one out. Fucking almost a month later, 3 weeks about. Yeah, 3 weeks today. 3 weeks today is when they were handed over the paperwork or the documents or whatever. 3 weeks to the day, because it was the day before December 1st when they got them. Yeah, like it almost like by sitting there saying we simply can't offer, what else could Ann do? Because they just, if she would have had it in the initial discovery, which they should have had it because that's how they connected everybody. Remember the 28th, the shove it in your face with the demo a year later exactly? That's how they connected y'all, motherfuckers, and that's what she's asking for. So if she would have got it, she would have got it in the initial discovery. 7-8 months is a decent amount of time when it only took them a couple weeks. So
yeah, we'll see.
That's what it sounds like to me. Damn, so this whole time I'm glad we came across the scare ghost thing, because that's pretty strong, powerful shit to me.
I've been saying that for a while now.
Yeah, with all the talk about Ann Taylor, that's why I even brought it up a few nights ago, and it was a poll question, like, are you confident in Ann Taylor still? And it was kind of,
I mean,
60-40.
Without knowing the motion about prosecutorial misconduct, I have no idea what to say, I have no idea. How can you say she's doing a bad job just because it was denied? I mean, I don't even know what it was. We don't have access to it.
Well, nobody does. It's all based off speculation. That's why we make opinions based off of not knowing all the evidence,
No, but I mean, to say that she's not doing everything she can because that motion was denied is not a fair statement, because we don't know. So people who say that Ann Taylor's not doing everything, or they have concerns about her, well, they're based on speculation just because the motion was denied, because we really don't know what was in there.
I'm not gonna lie. It was a big shock to me when I found out that she was all good with the demo. It took me by surprise. I was like, whoa.
And I know we had that big argument. We had that big discussion about the speedy trial. And you kept saying, why is she waiving the speedy trial? And I was telling you that
because she had her shoe on their necks. Like they were like, she had them finally admitting that they didn't have shit. Like when she finally had Bill Thompson stand up with a piece of paper and go, how can we simply offer something we don't have? That to me was like, damn, you just made him stand up.
There's a difference between we don't have it and it doesn't exist. The fact that they don't have it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
No, I wasn't saying that it didn't exist. I was saying what Bill Thompson said. I said what Bill Thompson said, not what I said.
No, Bill Thompson said, how can we produce something that we don't have?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
And what I'm saying
don't exist.
What I'm saying is, okay, you don't have it, but does it exist, Mr. Thompson? That's the question. Does it exist? And that's why she kept pushing and pushing.
You don't know.
Well,
you don't know.
He better find out. And he found out.
Yeah, right.
Court order. Court order said, you better get that.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just
once
gave
he
him a
got the
bunch of
court order,
redacted papers. That's what he got.
we'll see. We'll
He got
see.
he got a whole bunch of redacted papers that he can crumple up and put in that Christmas stocking to make it look even sweeter. You know, I still
Yeah,
never got one. Damn it.
Yeah, it just, God, at this case, I really need to probably step away. I'm getting too hung up on it.
And then he says, my fear for the community would simply be, even from the start, are you certain the bad guys are not on the street? What do you mean? I don't know. Which... all still alive? What? What am I missing here?
Okay, hold on. But the FBI.
Yeah,
No.
the FBI would have to have it if it exists, because they're the ones that finish the work and then send it. They're the ones that finished the profile and sent the profile to the Idaho State Police. So then when they collected the trash, they sent that to the Idaho State Police. The Idaho State Police is the one that came up with the connection between BK and his dad.
You know, there's a good video by Idaho Revealed that talks about the procedures that these people are supposed to follow when they're doing this IGG stuff. And by the way, they say that it's a good video. I mean, it's not that long if you want to watch it.
CC Moore, no, I can't. We're already past.
Oh, darn.
But CC Moore, if you guys want to look at the, I mean, hell, CC Moore has the most knowledge when it comes to. Where's the DNA thing here? Where's the frickin'... Hold on, I'm going to drop there's a DNA playlist that we did.
Oh, I want to see the Idaho4, the
Here it
Idaho
is.
Reveal.
All right. So here's this. That's the playlist for, it's like a 3-episode playlist, and you'll hear a lot of experts, and even some of them that were in the court hearing back then, and then CC Moore and a lot of other stuff when it comes to all that DNA. There are processes. There's a lot of procedures. It's not just you just throw some shit together and you come up with a profile.
Or take some notes and,
Yeah.
On a yellow pad.
Yeah, justice first, memorial second. You say you have the guy. How are you even during the... How are you
They just would have said, well, you have to trust us. You have the right guy.
That's all they did. That's what they did. Just like the secret grand jury, 6 of them wanted more evidence. You just have to trust us. That's what they've been telling everybody. That's what they've been telling everybody in these prior cases. If you look and you go back to all the plea deals that were going on within this community, just look at the history of the plea deals itself and the cases where they accepted plea deals. It's how they do their shit. They've become so effective at it. You know, it's like the shit with the Murdaughs. Before Alex started fucking up, same shit. The more they got away with it, the better they got. And then it just, with any dynasty, it gets to a point where there's all of a sudden one brick that isn't so stable anymore in that dynasty, and then it starts to crumble. How fast depends on how many bricks crumbled, but it always happens. So just like with Moscow, you know, with any of these small communities, I mean, hell, when the case first happened, and we were talking about other small communities of different cases, and then you apply the knowledge of those cases, and then you apply it to it's the same shit. That's how we all know that it's that small town politics shit that kind of has a lot of influence in And unfortunately, in a lot of these areas, whether it's Henrietta, Delphi, Flora, you know, Chicago, Moscow. Yeah, I remember. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to end it, but like I said, the next few days it'll be kind of in and out with lives. So if you see me on, just come on in and say hi. I don't know how much notification I'll be able to give anybody. It just really all depends on traffic itself, and then the the environment or the situation or whatever when it comes to me even having an availability to do. So. But definitely we'll be doing something, even if I have to hop on the road, do a show on the road or anything. By the way, speaking of, if I do end up doing something on the road, I will be doing it on this channel, The Lounge. So I'll drop that. This is where I will be doing any of the road trip streaming. Will be over here at this channel. And we can talk a little bit more freely over there and stuff too. So thank you for hopping up, Yolie. Appreciate it. It was a very great conversation when it came to what's going on, what can the families do, some of the legal advice as a civil attorney from where you practice when it comes to the same situation. I think it'll help a lot of people, even just for understanding when it comes to what really can be done and what all is being done and in the process of all that.
Yeah, it's just sad.
Yeah, it is. Yes, thank you, everybody.
Okay, well, thanks for having me.
All right, it sucks. I mean, hey, I wish I could just bloop, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to, I'm going to other people's homes, so I don't want to intrude and say, hey, I need to do it live, while I'm trying to visit for the holiday. You know what I mean? Like, we all should have some of that family time without the social media and stuff like that too. So, but we will be back for sure. Back on that rotation in a few days from there on out. Just got some holidays and some family to spend with. So I appreciate you all. If something drops or something breaks, I might make a little video, or you might see me pop on a mobile stream just to chit chat about something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But thank you all so much. Thank you, Yolie. And thank you, everybody else. I appreciate your company, and happy holidays if I don't see you before.
And my coffee cup?
Yeah, it's still... It has to be made.
Okay.
I gotta wait for them. So it's about. I'm thinking it'll probably be because I just got the notification for Yvette's, and she was the first coffee cup winner. I just got the notification for hers. I think it was like 3 days ago that it was being shipped to me, and then after that, then I have to ship it out. So because I have to add a little Evil CJ stuff in there.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Be safe. Be safe. Travel safe. Good night, everybody.